We are live with another episode of Our Perspectives. It is that time, Monday, 7:05 p.m. The 5-minute countdown has ended and we are ready for the show. My name is Holden Stephan Roy. Joining me tonight is Littyyy Bro Flacko, and Baxter Words is on his way over here. He'll be here when he can arrive, so he'll be joining us tonight in just a little bit. We are super excited to have you all here with us. Just a little housekeeping, make sure to hit the subscribe button. So if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, whatever platform, we're also live at twitch.tv/behindthatsuit. If you want to join the live conversation over there, it'll be posted to YouTube after as soon as we can, give it on the copyright clearances. And if you really like what we do, we could appreciate the support over at patreon.com/perspectives, PRSPCTVS. On that note, we like to start the show just kind of talking a bit about our weeks, catch up a little bit. So, Flacco, what were you up to last week?
Man, I was pretty fucking busy. I had that big first job of the year. There's exciting things happening with my company. I've been envisioning a world where we travel to teach other people how to be great like us New Yorkers at everything. And we travel places to educate people on how to be fantastic and the best. Because we are the best. It's crazy. Like whenever I work with like a client that's like on tour, like Coca-Cola or Formula One or anything like that, they're always like, oh my God, you guys are the best crew we've ever had. We just went through this on the weekend. We were loading in an event called Cycle for Survival, and the client was just like, we just came from Dallas, and it was a fucking nightmare. You guys fucking killed it. Like, you guys fucking killed it. And we're like, you know what? We're starting new divisions. Let's start one in Dallas. That's like been my thing, is like asking the clients, where do you have your shittiest time with your tours? And we will start new divisions there. And then our guys will fly out to that city. They'll fly out to that city and they'll teach the people at that city how to be great like us and how to be motivated like us. And so like we had the first thing of that. Then I had a show. Dama had a show premiering her new single, and we were supposed to perform Littyyy Bros. I ended up having to do it solo. Solo, and Bri Gennaro came through, did Mami Ben Aquí. It went really well. Second show of the year, 2 weeks after doing the first one. Just, good vibes. Everybody said that we brought good energy. We went on early. It was like maybe like 5 acts, and we went on early. We went on second, and we just kind of set the energy. You know what I'm saying? It was Rye Gennaro's birthday on Friday. Happy birthday to Rye Gennaro.
Happy
Bro
birthday, Rye
Rye.
Gennaro.
Littyyy Bro Gennaro. And I definitely did the Happy Birthday a cappella again. It keeps on slaying. It's always going to be somebody's birthday every time I'm performing. I'm definitely going to use that moving forward. Nice little crowd. Everybody. It feels like everybody knows the words without knowing the words. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I start doing it, everybody's like, "Hey, I know this song," even though they don't know the song. It's brand new, but yeah. It went really well, and then the next day,
you can follow the rhythm pretty well when you hear it. It's one of those sing along kind of joints,
for sure. And so then I get out of there at like 2:00 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. Get home by like 3:30 in the morning, to sleep by like 4:30 in the morning, to be up by like 8 o'clock in the morning to go load out that same job. But I did it. Fucking knocked it out then to get off that job and then fucking go to the Super Bowl party and hang out until 2 o'clock in the morning again. 12, I think like we stuck around till like midnight. It was pretty crazy fucking weekend. To then have a super busy day today. I've just been busy, haven't fucking been able to breathe. I haven't been able to catch a fucking midday nap, which I love to do. Catch a midday nap. I don't know if Baxter also enjoys a midday nap, a good midday nap. You're muted, Bax.
Seems imperative these days, you know?
Seems imperative. Absolutely.
Midday nap is good. Like when you can take it, because sometimes you don't get
when you
to
can take it. Sometimes you don't get to take it. If you can take
it, oof, that's a good hour. Oh, come back strong, ready for the rest of the day.
I be wilding nowadays. I might fuck around and do 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, yo, there's a midday sleep now. You know, mini sleep instead of a nap. But yeah, anyway, it was a good fucking week. It was busy.
Chris Crow misses naps.
Busy. Chris Crow misses naps.
Yeah, because he's got one of those, I have to work a block of time because of corporate America jobs, and therefore is unable to just take an hour in the middle of a day to nap because of you getting to set your hours.
Nap should be scheduled like they used to be back in kindergarten. In the middle of the day, they should just be like, yo, everyone, it is nap time.
I remember that shit.
Yo, I'd be wildly enthusiastic about some shit like that.
Facts.
I'd be like, what?
I'd be like, what? Nap time already? This day is flying by.
Wild productive and shit. You know what I mean? Being wild productive.
I guarantee you that the 3 o'clock slump would be deaded if we had the 12:30
nap time.
You get some lunch, you take a little post-lunch nap, wake up ready to go.
Get an adult juice box.
Give us like an hour and a half, right? So like a half hour for your lunch, and then like a little hour nap, little power nap. You know what I'm saying?
A little siesta. It's a little siesta.
A little siesta.
But does the day get longer? No, Chris, because you have energy the second half of the day, and you're not half asleep and cranky. So it's.
I mean, you already take an hour. You already take an hour lunch break, right? So it's just adding a half hour. You work your 2 breaks into it, you know what I'm saying, and that's it.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if that was part of the deal, it would make the workday more pleasant, even if I had to be at work longer.
Right.
All right, man, I'm done fucking dragging out the fucking week.
Welcome, Baxter. He has joined us now. Back. So what did you do this last week? How's the running?
It's going pretty well. I ran another 3 miles, although I'll admit it was harder on my respiratory than it has been. I don't know if it was like the change in temperature or whatever, but my breathing, or maybe I just was like out of tune with myself and my breathing. There's always the beautiful thing about running is there's always something I'm discovering about my body or about the process, like in the middle of the run. You know, like I'm feeling like certain muscle groups that like maybe aren't as strong as I thought they were, and I'm like, damn, yo, I gotta fucking work on my knees or something. Pause.
Oh my god.
And
let me tell you something. I've done a couple jobs where like I end up working on my knees literally, and let me tell you something. It has made me so much more compassionate for my wife, and like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, yo, bust out pillows.
Yeah,
you know, it's rough being on your knees, yo.
Facts.
Like,
listen, man, that's
I think about all the young ladies before I was married, and I'm like, dang, rough.
Right.
And they be wildly bare kneed too in a lot of situations.
Just
project apartment hard floors.
Just knees all on the linoleum.
Like what? Rough.
But getting off the topic of knees, I also hosted a party on Saturday.
Oh, it was
how did it go?
It was
remember you told us. How'd it go?
Super dope. It's called Zodiac Aphrodisiac. Every month is a different, like, the theme is like whatever zodiac sign is that month. So I'm an Aquarius. It was an Aquarius themed party. Aquarius host, Aquarius DJ, spinning artist from Aquarius artists. There's a lot of Aquarius artists, yo. I was even learning some people. I didn't know Anderson .Paak was an Aquarius. Justin Timberlake, I knew. Rick James, you know what I'm saying? Megan Thee Stallion. It was a dope party.
So he plays nothing but like Aquarius born artists.
Yeah. The DJs are Aquariuses. The host is an Aquarius, and they only play artists of that sign. They do it every month.
That's kind of fucking dope.
Ain't it
That's
though?
kind of fucking dope. That's kind of fucking dope. Now I want to host Aries month.
I mean, I can put you in contact. You know,
Put me in contact. Let me know. You know what I mean? Like,
but you know, they do it every month. Pisces are coming up, so I'm pretty sure that'll be an emotional affair. You know, they probably lay some tissues out for all the tears.
Right.
But nah, it was dope. It was very dope.
My mother's a Pisces.
When's her birthday?
March something. March 15th or something. I'm really bad at memory. That's my like excuse to everybody though, right? It's like, if I can't remember my mother's birthday, don't expect me to remember your birthday.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Please remind me every year. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of that, today
remembered my birthday. So
also speaking of that, today is my mother's birthday.
Came up. I think it just like a Facebook memory or you posted, and I was like, oh shit, let me go wish him happy birthday.
The fact that he was giving you the out, and you were like, nah. But also, today is my mother's birthday, so happy birthday to my mom.
Oh, happy birthday to Mama Bax.
She's also an Aquarius, so we understand each other, and I am absolutely her favorite child.
Let's go.
Word.
Which she does not hesitate to let the other ones know, which I appreciate.
That's dope. That's dope. To be like the favorite and be known, like it's no secret around here.
Like, why keep
you know
it
what
a
I mean?
secret?
Like my mom plays a super Pisces, right?
Right.
So like we
feelings.
said, you know, play wild games, and it's just like, just admit it. Say who's your favorites.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not the favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But I know, but I also know that I'm the middle child. So I'm the star of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Like, right.
We show up. When we were taking family pictures, it was obvious I'm the star of the show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't got to be the favorite because I'm the main character.
I'm the main character here. We like if our family's a basketball team, I'm the all-star. I'm LeBron. You guys are just like
right. You can have another favorite player.
Yeah, you can have a favorite player. You could be the coach and have a favorite player, but let me tell you something. I'm the star of the team. You know what I'm saying? I'm Jordan. My sister's just Kukoc. You know what I'm saying? my little sister is like, I guess she could be Pippen. You know what I'm saying? But my older sister, that's Kukoc. Like, she just comes in for the three. Like, she's not a star here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then my other brothers is like Rodman and fucking. You know what? My little brother is Pippen. There we go. Yo, my fault. I'm sorry, Bax.
I love it.
Whole thing.
No. I love the fact that that this metaphor has gone so far. But yeah. Happy birthday to my mom. And that's it. Like, other than that, I've been working on my job. I manage 2 coffee shops, so I've been like doing that. And you know, I'm at an age where staying out to like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning is still fun. But the bounce back is harder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bounce back is harder.
I think about my youth when going out to 4 o'clock in the morning was something that I used to do like multiple nights a week, and I can't even imagine how. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy how things changed in a couple years, because just during COVID, I was going out, staying out all night, crack of dawn.
Yo, COVID.
Night,
I feel like COVID aged people quickly. You know how they say if you don't use it, you lose it? I feel like having people stay in their houses and not do nothing, coming back out and trying to jump back into doing everything was not happening.
Well, me and Jess we were living super dangerous. Like, we were outside filming videos for Champagne and Cocaine
during COVID.
The week that everybody was afraid for their life. That first week of COVID, when everybody was really fearing for their life and shit. We were outside like, fuck it, if we die, we die.
But that's the safest time, because you're out there by yourself. No one else is out. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I kept on saying at the beginning. I was like, why? Like, I was like, yo, I'm going to go outside. There ain't nobody outside. Like, you got to be near me to infect me. You're not even near me, because everybody's not outside. So nobody's even coming near me. Like, what? Like,
but you know what's
different? But you guys also didn't have the Quebec response of complete shutdowns and lockdowns, and like, it was different out here.
New York is different. Like, you can't lock that. Like, those delivery trucks still needed to come into the city for the supermarkets. We have so many supermarkets. There's so many bodegas. There's so much
No, but
business
like
that still kept on
in
running
hindsight
during
though,
COVID,
if I had become an Uber driver back then, I would have been able to just drive all day.
you'd have been caking. You'd have been caking.
But also New Yorkers just don't give a fuck too. So like the block that I lived on at the time that COVID was going on, a little further than where I live now in Crown Heights, motherfuckers was outside. Like people took it as just they had off from work, so it was like a block party every day. So the
My
point
block
that
was also the same like that.
the cops showed up to tell people to go inside, and they just screamed the cops off the block, and the cops just left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
it was
live on
just
a dead end block, so that happened even more. I live in a dead
Word.
end block between an elementary school and a high school. So
Oh,
like the
man.
dead end is like a elementary school and a high school. So there's only the only residential building is mine, and then there's a house like a 3-story home, apartments across the street from us, and then a bodega and a chicken spot. So that my block was first
Poppin'.
the high school. First, the high schooler kids were out there every night to like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, bumping music wild loud. I could hear it up here.
Right.
And I loved it for them. I was like, enjoy party, like you're young.
Right.
Like they had just graduated during or no, it was right. When was it that COVID hit? It was
March.
February, March.
February, March, right? Right. They were out there like fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like no
Listen.
fucks given, partying hard and shit.
They're gonna remember that for the rest of their lives.
And then my block is like famously like E-Dot, one of the like big drill rappers from the Bronx, is from my block. You know what I mean? So like they were out there partying hard, and then the old people took over and they partied hard. It's lit. COVID was lit. I'm ready for the world to catch another virus and like you know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
Like
because
I'm pretty
everyone
sure-
up here, it was not the same for everyone. Is all I can say. Like we
Yeah,
were
Montreal
up
is mad
here-
cold in March anyway, so y'all get in the house.
What
you
are
know
you
what I'm saying?
saying? Like, nah, but like it's different when you gotta be home at 8 p.m. Like, you gotta like at first it wasn't like that, but it got to that. It was like real lockdown. Like you can't be outside without papers type shit. Otherwise, it got really, really fucking weird. And like,
I think if you deal with a little bit more of the
then-
shady side of Montreal, you'd have found like a lot of underground shit going on.
You know what's a funny thing
like
too?
there was, and there were ways to move around it, but like there's still the majority of people like I don't the way the geography of Montreal works, most of it isn't blocks the way y'all's situation is set up. So like we're more just spread out in wherever we can afford to fucking live, and it's all over. So like geography plays a big part of that. Like there are parts of Montreal that could replicate some of the New York blocks, but like they're really sparse actually. It was one of the big things I noticed in New York was how really not like that it is. Like
Yeah, we live on top of each other.
and like we don't have
Everything's
a lot of that.
walkable. Everything's walkable and everything's like
no, but there's also so many more people, whereas we don't have the
absolutely.
density. Like the density isn't there. Like the cops could control the situation. They'll pull up and they'll throw tear gas and they'll fucking separate the shit because they know there's just not enough of us willing to congregate that they can get that we could tell them to fuck off. It's just not going to happen up here like that, especially not over COVID.
It's different here. We're the biggest city in North America. You know what I mean? Like from there, the only other in the Americas
is
like
bigger?
Rio de Janeiro.
I don't think so.
LA's not bigger. No.
It's
Brooklyn-
like 40 million.
Brooklyn
No.
Brooklyn
We got
by
the most
itself.
people
Brooklyn by
like,
itself,
a long shot.
not even counting the rest of New York. Brooklyn by itself is the fourth largest city, I think, in America.
Okay,
Just
fair.
Brooklyn.
Right.
New York City is by like a large margin. We have like official population is like something like 6 or 8 mil and 7 mil, and the United Nations gives like, this is what it's actually estimated at, and it's like 14 million. And like LA in comparison is like 4 million.
Yeah, LA is
UN
3.9 million.
population of like 6.
I heard
Yeah,
Austin
exactly.
or Texas, some shit in Texas is starting to get populated, but like, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
Nothing will ever be as populated.
LA
as
doesn't
New
even
York
beat
City.
Brooklyn.
Nah. This is what I'm saying. Like we're unquestioned. Like the only cities in the whole Western Hemisphere that compete with us in numbers are like Rio de Janeiro,
Mexico City.
Mexico City. There's another one in Sao Paulo, I think, in Brazil also competes with us.
Right.
Like those are the only three cities.
Sao Paulo is 11 million. They got us beat.
Yeah, they got us beat. Yep.
Chicago doesn't come close.
Nah.
Yeah. Now New York City. Listen, New York City. If you look at the map of America or the state, right? New York City's like a fucking speck of dust on the whole state, and this city has more population than the whole entire state has on its own.
Yeah, Rio de
Janeiro. Like the rest of the state only has like 1 million people in it, spread out across the whole entire state, and then we have like fucking 6-7 million. What's the number, Bax?
We got 8 million.
8 million. We got 8 million people.
Actually, 8.8
to this little city.
8.8. So we're getting closer to 9.
Other cities are bigger in terms of like
landmass.
The landmass. But that's because they're all spread out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
so when you're spread out like that, the cops can shut you down a lot easier because it just takes a hell of a lot longer to get critical mass.
Yo, it's so crazy looking at the numbers because like certain cities, I was like, damn, like Miami doesn't even have a 500,000 people in it.
Nah.
Wow, small.
It's the kind of shit, but like you picture it as being bigger because of all the lore and shit that it's attached to it. But then I was bamboozled that Montreal actually ranked in I think we're like 8th or 9th in like the top 10 of North America, which is a wild thought to me. Like that most of these major cities with more cultural influence are actually less populated than my city.
Yeah, I would imagine that the order would probably be in North America. The order. Check. Look it up. But like, I'll start predicting it. I'm willing to bet that it's New York City, LA, then Toronto, maybe.
Toronto's a solid 8 million people.
Chicago. No, you know what? Maybe. Yeah, Toronto and Chicago. Then maybe San Francisco. No, because it's a Bay thing over there.
So it's got Mexico City is first, then New York City for second, then LA, and this is Wikipedia.
Oh, because they're counting Mexico as North America. I count that as Central America.
I mean, technically they're part of NAFTA.
Word, anyway. I feel you, but like on maps growing up, it was always described as Central America.
Yo, did y'all know that the world does not have a consensus on the number of continents, and that depending on the region of the world that you're in, you're gonna believe it's 6 or 7, and it will actually start an argument at a party? That shit out.
What's the one that's in question? Antarctica?
I don't remember, but no, it's not. I think it has to do with Eurasia and the Americas and how they all get split up and shit. But like, there's between 4 and 7 continent theories. I digress. So just because you said that, but yeah, then Toronto.
So
Calgary,
Mexico City,
New York
City,
LA, Toronto. I was wrong. It's only 3 million people. Chicago is 2.6. Santo Domingo in the DR is 2.5 million. Houston is at 2.3, but it's been growing.
I knew Houston. Havana,
Cuba is there. It's adding. I don't know where. I guess Cuba's in North America.
I feel like a lot of this is like that's the Caribbean. That's not. Yeah, keep on going.
And then Tijuana, Mexico would be 9th, and then Montreal would be 10th. So if we get rid of Cuba, then we're 9th. But yeah, we're 10th.
If you get rid of the Caribbean, then you guys are 8th. If we get rid of Mexico, then you guys are like 6th.
Yeah. So like I was pretty bamboozled by how actually populated Montreal was. But yeah, we're spread out though.
It's a nice size city.
Been driving everywhere.
I couldn't
see
the difference between Chicago and Montreal.
There's actually like if you include the surrounding areas like Laval, like the island above us and the South Shore and this shit, like there's a good solid 4 million people and a reasonable landmass for the greater Montreal area, which like, you know, it's growing with a lot of immigration, so it's definitely
how did we get
changing.
here?
I don't know.
How did we get here?
We were talking about
so I shot some food videos last week.
You being out inside for COVID.
I've been organizing my life, so I've been spending time with a project management tool trying to structure shit so I have a calendar and I can keep track of shit better because everything was getting chaotic. And then on Thursday, I had to go do 2 video shoots, which was wonderful because I ended up with like 3 days worth of food from a Chinese place and a really good Indian place. Like, when I say Indian, I don't mean Indian for white people. I mean like Indian for Indian people trying to figure out white people. And that shit was flavorful in ways I was not expecting. Super interesting.
Listen, India is known for their spices. That's like their. That's like their.
Super.
That's why white people were. That's how America started. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They were
white
looking
people
for spices.
Looking for Indian spices.
Indian spices, right? Now I just finished seeing like a graphic online about like earlier this year, matter of fact, like a couple weeks ago, and it showed like spices by like region and cultural foods, and like Indian food has the most spices.
Oh man, it was so
like
like
more than Latin food, more than like Southern, more than anybody. Indian food has like more spices than everybody.
Yeah, so and then that was fun because it's pretty dope because you're getting paid to go film food and then you get to take because they always give you way more than you're gonna eat. And I had just done 2 shoots back to back, so I didn't eat a lot of either shoot, but it was pretty fire. And I drove a lot of people around doing some Uber, and that was, busy. Keeping up with my exercise, because I think that's important, and writing my little blogs every day. And then for my other podcast,
definitely fell off this weekend on working out.
This guy goes, Holden, would you wear a Star Wars helmet if I bought you this shit? And he spent like $125 buying this bullshit as a prop for tomorrow's podcast. So I'm like, what the fuck? And the shit like is battery powered and lights up and makes noises and shit. And I don't even really watch Star Wars like that. But now I got this really like well-built Star Wars helmet shit that Hasbro put out. So we going in like that on this other podcast. I'm like, this guy is clearly doing okay. That was my feeling. And yeah, it's cool. It's been good, man. I'm really enjoying this. Go to meetings, close deals, and then film food. This is a good job. It's teaching me a lot about the hustle.
That sounds like a good job.
And it builds your confidence because even if shit goes a little awry and you have a couple bumps, when the next guy's happy and the next money starts coming in and you're like, damn, son, it just keeps appearing. Every time you doubt, more of it appears. And it's just so encouraging. I don't know. It's like it shows me how to approach music and everything else I do a lot differently than I have in the past. And like I encourage anybody to get into sales, even if you hate it. If you're in art, get into sales because the day you can learn how to close, the day you're going to probably do a lot better with your music in terms of opportunity.
ABC. Always be closing.
Yeah. I guess that's good. I also, speaking of our first topic, listened to Kanye West and Dolla Sign's Vultures album.
Word, I definitely did too. I definitely was like, brand new.
I did not get a chance to listen to it.
It is good. I liked it.
Mickey Fax was saying that it's his favorite album from Kanye. That's the homie.
Doubt that.
I mean, okay. Listen. I got a controversial take. Like Donda's my favorite Kanye album. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a flawless album. Like it's like better than anything he's ever done before. But like we all got our own fucking opinions and shit.
Right? I thought Donda was really interesting because Donda doesn't sound like anything anybody else is doing. And later on, I really believe that Donda's going to be looked back at in the same way that 808s was and really be credited as something that shifted the culture. It just hasn't had enough time to pass yet to really have its effects seep in. But yeah, I think you're going to watch pop music get softer because of Kanye.
Interesting.
In general.
These are fascinating takes, gentlemen.
Because like Kanye is really influential, despite what everybody's preferences are. Like everyone can say, even the people who dislike him can't deny the fact that his music is very impactful.
I will tell you this from personal experience. Yes, they can.
Oh, word.
Like I agree with you
Yeah, nah,
completely.
people, there's wild people who definitely like are like, nah, fuck Kanye, fuck
Right.
out of here.
I
I
get
Give
agree.
me
that.
the old Kanye. Give me the old Kanye.
No, no, no. There's people that if they don't like someone, they can't admit that anything that they've done is good. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fair. All right,
And
that's
and
fair.
and that
Mm-hmm.
that ability is so strong in some people. So when you say there's
Yes.
people who like even if they don't like him, they can't deny his impact. Yes, they can. But I agree with you. Like I think he is one of the most influential artists of our generation, if not the most influential artist of our generation. But I don't agree with either of you about those last two albums. But okay.
I mean, I just thought this album was like I haven't listened to it a lot. I
What's
haven't
your
like
favorite?
sat
What's
with
your
it.
favorite Kanye album, Baxter?
Um, I don't know if I
Not which
have.
one do you think is the best
No, no, no. Yeah,
according
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
the
I don't.
people.
It changes at different times. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I fuck with 808s and Heartbreak. I love that album,
Heavy.
right? But I
Love
don't
that album.
think like. But to my point, like I don't know if it was my favorite because there's times where I want to listen to late registration like you know what album I always sleep on, but then I go back to it
I'll
and I
be waiting
realize
for that.
it's fucking
That's my shit.
Graduation, man. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Graduation.
Great album.
I listen to Graduation, and I sometimes I think that those songs are on other albums. I was like, oh, this I thought this was on Late Registration, and it's on Graduation.
Right.
But so I give
That was when he
Kanye
started making stadium music.
right. He purposely he was like, I am
Yeah.
going to make music for stadiums.
Right.
Kanye West, Outkast, Kendrick Lamar. I give them the credit of like every time that they dropped an album, they like took it someplace farther than where the last one was. You know what I'm saying? Like deliberately, they were like trying to go someplace. And if you listen to their albums in order, you kind of go there with them. You know what I'm saying? And not a lot of artists do that. Like I feel like someone like Jay-Z, you are traveling with him, but some albums aren't at that far a jump from the last one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like Kanye, if you listen to every album is like just better than the one before it. Even
Yeah.
even the fucking the Jesus album.
Yo,
Yeah.
honestly, it's
That
not
was a
bad.
fire album.
Yo,
like,
That was a
B.
fire album.
Like I know it sounds wild, but I really like that Chick-fil-A song. That's the
Yeah.
joint of all of the stuff he's released in the past 5 years. That's the one that plays in my head rent free. I'll be sitting there like, "You're just Sunday, you're my Chick-fil-A," and I don't know why, but that shit just plays in my fucking head, and that's impactful.
Mm-hmm.
I also think
For me.
Kanye West, I think he's a genius, maybe an evil genius, but I also think he
Mm-hmm.
realizes that streaming finances is a numbers game, right? And the more music you have on streaming, the more money you get. Like it don't even got to be the biggest hits. It's just a bigger check. So I think that's why he was doing all of those albums with those artists at that. Like that's how he dropped like 4 or 5 albums with artists. This album with Ty Dolla Sign. He's just Donda, the Jesus One, Kids See Ghosts. All of these things. It's like even if people only listen to these albums a little bit, they're still listening to so much Kanye West music. There's just so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
What
True
other
facts.
artists that the same amount of output?
I mean,
Uh,
there's probably a lot of underground artists that have that output, but do not
Sorry, what
have the
artist
impact.
of his caliber like stature
Caliber.
has
I would
that?
say
Like,
probably the only person that like has stayed as busy since he's come out, which is after Kanye, is Drake. You know what I
right,
mean? Like
Yeah,
right.
Drake is the only person. Like Drake is
but
main. Like he's doing what Hope did, which was like maintain his chokehold on the number one spot
Right.
by being so consistent and putting up big numbers and putting. You know what I mean? Like really being out here like that. So like that's probably like the only person I would say
Nah, you're
like
yeah.
could compete
Same,
with him
same,
in
same.
that way.
yeah, I mean, at least now, I guess that's kind of where there was a video though that I don't know if you want me to play it still.
Nah, fuck it. It was just a video saying about who he mentioned on the Vultures. Yeah, you know what? Run it. Run the
Play
video.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Video.
Boom.
So Kanye West name dropped Diddy, R. Kelly, Taylor
Yo, but the
Swift,
cover
and
to
more on his new
Vultures,
album.
is that just
Hey,
Kanye
Asia
West
Sky
and
for
his
hip hop
wife?
DX, and check this
Yeah.
out. Kanye West
Yeah,
name
I
dropped
think
Diddy,
so.
R. Kelly, Taylor Swift, and
Where's?
more
Oh
on his new
no.
album
Okay,
Vultures
no, this
Volume
is
1.
different. Is
It
this the cover?
was,
No.
and a lot of no.
I don't hear nothing, Holden, by the way.
Oh shoot, I gotta reshare it.
I'm
The
like,
cover with his wife was something he got in trouble for.
because I'm like, where's Ty Dolla
So
Sign?
Kanye West name dropped Diddy, R. Kelly, Taylor Swift, and more on his new album. Hey, it's Asia Sky for Hip Hop DX, and check this out. Kanye West has name dropped Diddy, R. Kelly, Taylor Swift, and more on his new album Vultures Volume 1. Ye hosted a listening party at United Center in Chicago on Thursday night, February 8th, where he debuted the first of 3 collaborative projects with Ty Dolla Sign. The pair played over a dozen new songs during the show, including the song Carnival with Playboy Cardi and Rich the Kid. On the track, Ye mentions R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Diddy, Taylor Swift, Jesus Christ, Kris Jenner, and Chris Brown, along with the Me Too movement.
Oh, he changed the cover. R. Kelly is currently serving 3 decades in prison for sex trafficking and child pornography, while Diddy was recently accused of sexual assault by multiple women, and Bill Cosby was previously convicted of rape until his prison sentence was overturned back in 2021. Now, the Taylor Swift lyric refers to Kanye West famously interrupting the singer on stage at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2009, which led to a long and complicated saga between the two stars. Ye also went on to address his anti-Semitism controversy on Vultures Volume 1, and he addressed it with the same defiance as he did on the previously released title track. On the final song played during the show titled The King, Kanye rapped, so what are your thoughts on Kanye West mentioning the likes of Diddy, R. Kelly, and Bill Cosby?
Both those songs are wildfire, by the way. I love both those songs. I definitely can't. I was everywhere. I was like, yo, bro, I had to get away from the album on Friday when I heard it, because I was like, I gotta perform tomorrow, and I'm gonna fuck around and go on
Right.
stage and be like, beautiful big titty butt naked women don't just
Don't
fall
just
out
fall
the
out
sky,
the sky, you know?
that was how much that song was like immediately like just getting in my heart with
I'm pretty
love
sure
and
I saw that
greatness.
on at least
And
2 Facebook statuses from you on that day. You quoted it more than once.
yeah, absolutely. Love that fucking song. Immediately my favorite song. But also those songs are fire. This album is wildfire, yo. I really like it. I like it a lot. The
But
next subject is Ozzy Osbourne creates controversy over a sample that he's saying Kanye did not have permission to use.
that is what he's saying.
That's what he's saying.
Sharon Osbourne said, "You fucked with the wrong Jew."
Untold.
I mean,
No, they told it.
listen, I saw wild memes going around. Like, it's not a good look for him, especially not with the fact that like Sharon Osbourne and Ozzy Osbourne just dressed up as Kanye West and his wife last year for Halloween. So like just a few
That's a
months ago,
fact.
you were dressing up like Kanye, but now he's an anti-Semite and you can't clear a sample. And I saw wild people online just talking shit about Ozzy Osbourne. Like, so wait, you mean the bat eating fucking fucking blood drinking rock star fucking is talking about
Right.
like what? Get the fuck out of here. So like, I don't think that it was gonna benefit him as much as he thinks that announcement was gonna benefit him.
Also, like
just sue.
right. That the funny thing is, like most of the time when things like this happen, there isn't like an announcement. There isn't like somebody like going out and saying like, "Oh, I didn't want him to." Like they just sue. They just do the legality of it, and then you
Yeah, they just
never
do the
really hear about
legality.
it. Right.
Whereas
Also, I think it's kind of like, I mean, people are allowed their own. People have the prerogative to handle their business however they want to handle it. I'm also kind of like tired of seeing Kanye West openly just like punished. You know what I'm saying?
That is definitely getting tiring.
It's like this was more of a statement of I don't want to be associated with this anti-Semite, which is like, I mean, I'm Jewish, right? And I've definitely been judged by Jews for not openly condemning Kanye because in their mind I'm this rapper guy and I should be posting all of my opinions on certain things. And when I didn't condemn Kanye, I got flack for it. And then as Flacko praises Kanye, I get questioned for why I do a podcast with a guy who supported Kanye. That has happened before. And I'm just like, I mean,
let me tell you something.
Kanye inspires me sometimes, so I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Right.
I don't like his rhetoric sometimes, but aren't y'all the free speech motherfuckers?
Let me tell you something. There's nobody who will try to hold their quote-unquote fandom of you hostage more than white people. White people love being like, oh, I'm not a fan anymore, and you should fucking regret that. And it's just like, no, motherfucker, go.
Right.
You don't have to.
Right.
You don't gotta be like, I'm not hard up for. Let me tell you something. There's wild battle rappers that they don't condemn shit white people be doing, racist white, right? Because like that's the main thing. Like whenever I'm talking about racist white people, I'm talking about racist white people. So if you're not a racist white person, this shouldn't get under your skin. You shouldn't be like, hey, watch how you talk about white people. You should be like, yeah, fuck those racist white guys. But like it gets under white people's skins, and it's just like, okay, I don't care if it gets under your skin. You can go. Oh, I'm not a fan anymore. All right, cool. I mean, like I'd rather not have racist fans. Sounds fucking fantastic to me, But battle rappers, and a lot of rappers too, right? Like they're beholden to their fans, and that's why they don't condemn certain things or say certain things, because they don't want to upset white people, and white people are notoriously delicate whenever you mention white people.
But it's even like there's just like expected behavioral norms. So like with my local community podcast, I have been exposed to local community motherfuckers. All these old people and shit are now aware of me. And I could tell you one thing. I rub a lot of old conservative homeowning parent types the wrong way with the way I present myself and the way everything I do. So I have this one guy, like a real, I don't know if he's a hater or he just fucking hates me or what it is, but he's just in the comments in the local like community group coming at me, telling me all the ways I suck at interviewing and podcasting and shit. And I'm like, your opinion doesn't matter, sir. But then he just keeps going and shit because he wants me to be this like model behavior of what it used to be like back when the news was like super valid and the only source of information, and like there's this more proper accepted town square type behavior and shit. And so if you're outside of that, of which Ozzy comes from that era where you were supposed to like persecute the things that were like, bad. And that was like culturally what you're supposed to do. And all these people who come from that era have no idea how to adapt in a way where you're allowed to just kind of be yourself, which is ironically what they taught us to do when we were young.
And it's all a control thing.
Told you you should do.
Yeah.
And it's all a control thing.
Absolutely bad.
People just want to be able to have control over the world they live in. When they see things that like remind them that they don't have control, they make motion to like sort of bring those things to heel or put them into line. So like somebody sees you giving interviews and podcasts, like it genuinely has nothing to do with them. You being bad at it, even if that was the case, has nothing to do with them, right? But the real problem is that you're not bad at it. The real problem is that you are good enough for them to care about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're good, right? So then they have to get you to do it. They have to get you to do it. They have to get you to do it the way that they want you to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you're giving interviews wrong. You need to do it this way. It's like, well, if I'm giving interviews so wrong, like, just let me do it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Let me do it wrong. Like, why can't I just do it wrong?
Yourself. Prove that you're better. Get out there.
Or not even that.
Yeah.
Just let me do it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're walking down the street and you see somebody changing a tire the wrong way and you go, hey, buddy, you're doing that the wrong way. And they go, I don't give a fuck, right? Do you sit there and argue with them? You know, you
No.
just you go about your day. You're like, good luck with.
I'm very, I don't give, most people give too many fucks. They say they don't give a fuck, but they give all the fucks. You know what I mean? Like literally all the fucks. And it's like, but why? Like, why do you care? That's always been my quote unquote winning thing in arguments on Facebook. Is like, 9 times out of 10, if we're in an argument, it's on my page. So I just made a post about my thoughts, and here you come in the comments,
right?
Upset. That's it. You lost right there, in my opinion. I'm like, you lost right there. You shouldn't have participated because clearly, whatever I wrote pissed you off so much. You had to leave a fucking comment because you had to let me know how much you disagree with me about this opinion that I have. And it's like, why? It doesn't matter.
There's so many times on my experience on the internet where I start to write a comment to something and then I just delete it and go on about my life. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big skill.
I do that a lot nowadays. Like,
it's a life hack.
Become like a thing. I've even started writing statuses and been like, you know what?
It's not worth it.
It doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't even matter.
But then sometimes I wake up and I'm just looking
and
for it.
You just choose violence.
And I go.
Oh yeah.
Because listen, this group is fire. It's like 18,000 people that live in my neighborhood or adjacent. So it's like the biggest hodgepodge of all the personalities ever.
It's your neighbors.
Arguably, it's just good marketing to get my name out there because it's already started to happen where people stop me in the streets and shit. So when I'm willing to go in the morning, and it's only ever before 9. By 9 a.m., I have lost the fight. I am ready to go about my day. Before 9 a.m., holy shit, I am just like looking for it. And I've learned to be nice about it, but I know how to pick a fight with random strangers and just be like, oh yeah, let me tell you what I think. And I just jump in the middle of these comment threads that are on these topics like fucking bike paths and snow removal and random innocuous things, because that's where the passion is, and it's a good time. I enjoy it a lot. Anyway, that's super off topic, but people be wildly judging Kanye and creating a distance, which is irrational because, like, they don't really listen to him. They just formulated their opinion on the situation, and he's gonna keep saying anti-Semitic shit the more you call him an anti-Semite because that's how he reacts.
I mean, I don't even think that necessarily that's the main thing, and that's why I get what he was saying, where it's just like, he didn't actually say anything anti-Semitic. It's just being interpreted. He said what he said was, everybody on earth has redeemable qualities, even Hitler. And people were like, no fucking way does Hitler have any redeemable qualities. And it's like, you're bugging. Like, I'm pretty sure to his wife, he was the fucking man. And she loved him with all his heart, with all her heart. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure to people
in the mistress. Why?
There's absolutely like people like are just confused where it's like people don't understand. Like they're like because he did horrible things, he obviously couldn't be a person who had anything positive about them. And it's like that's not the way the world works. It's yin and yang. We're all definitely gonna keep shitty and good shit. You know what I mean? Like.
We're definitely going to continue to get off topic, but I just always want to throw this out. The funny thing about dehumanizing Hitler is it takes away literally the worst part of it, right? Like if you make him a monster, like an irredeemable monster, then it's like this was it almost makes it like something that like was beyond humanity, something that like was an act of like a monster, like a fictional mythical thing, right? He was a human being. A human did this. Like someone who had a mother and a father and was born, and like somehow through the course of his life, like carried out one of the most like traumatic and horrible things of the world. And if we forget that a human did it, then we allow for it to happen again because we forget that humans are capable of this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like Hitler was wildly on like speed or whatever back at like when he was doing his military campaigns and was erratic and crazy and that shit. And like stripping away the humanity and forgetting that he was just like that shit could happen again.
Right, he's just a
Especially in the
dude.
pharmacy. He's a dude that ultimately did. It's almost like Griselda Blanco. I watched that show on Netflix, and like, you know, she did a lot of drugs at the end, and it kind of fucked up her whole trajectory. And that kind of shit could happen to somebody's judgment, where you start getting paranoid. And I'm not trying to at all. I mean, I'm Jewish. I'm not really a fan of Hitler, but like, that dude was still a human.
Not a fan.
And I mean, arguably, there are several things across his regime that were probably positive for at least the German peoples at the time, despite the fact that I'm not at all a fan of this guy or anything he stood for.
You know what else? Well, this is another side thing. Yo, how come that? You know what? Maybe I need to not. Like, you know how people going mad hard at Kanye? Mm-hmm. Why don't they go that hard at the Ku Klux Klan?
No, they don't. That be the shit.
They stay swastika'd out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, who loves the swastika more than fucking neo-Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan? Can we get their albums off the shelves?
But it's never like a logical thing. It's always like an illogical. I said over the weekend, I said on my page, I was like, yo,
because
you know what?
they are the KKK.
Facts.
I wouldn't.
At 1.5% of the U.S. population was in the KKK, and this was in the 30s. 5% of the U.S. population.
During slavery, I'm pretty sure the number was higher.
More.
You know what I'm saying? More. There was a point in time where probably 50% of the population of this country was absolutely racist. Maybe even 100. Anyway.
Probably, I was gonna say it's probably closer to 100.
The only reason it wasn't 100 is because there were black people here too.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that like Kanye hasn't done anything to make me stop being a fan yet. R. Kelly did things to make me stop being a fan. You can't be a pedophile. I'm not gonna be a fan of your music if you're fucking out here. Like, you can piss on women if women want to have a golden shower. That's a kink. That's like, I'm not here to kink shame nobody, right? But doing it to an underage girl, constantly being predatory at like outside of junior high schools, trying to pick up girls
R. Kelly's
and church groups and a bunch of shit.
That's too much, and I'm good on that. I reserve the right to like remove my fandom. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be white about it and like make a tweet to him like, if you don't stop fucking having your way with underage women, I'm gonna stop being a fan. I'm just not a fan no more. That's it. I find out I'm not a fan no more. Kanye hasn't done anything. Kanye has said controversial things and worn a White Lives Matter t-shirt. And that's just not enough for me to fucking throw him to the wolves and throw him in the garbage. Like, it's just not. I'm sorry. I don't agree with everything that he said and done, but like at the same time, he hasn't done anything or said anything that's like, oh, you're like I gotta throw you away because like this is an irredeemable thing.
Yeah, because he hasn't broken any laws. Like, he hasn't committed a crime.
Yes,
but also it's funny when celebrities come at a Kanye West or whatever, when like celebrities like Ozzy Osbourne probably has friends who have broken the law. Like, Ozzy Osbourne probably has friends who were on that Epstein jet. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like a false equivalence, because Ozzy Osbourne isn't really calling out Kanye West for, like, it's one thing to be like, I just don't want him to sample my music. It's another thing to be like, I don't want him to sample my music because he's a horrible person. Because it's like, Ozzy Osbourne, I
don't want to be associated with him in any way, is what he said. Like, I don't remember where it's quoted, but that's what he said.
That's his prerogative. Like, you don't have to be, right? Like, he could just be like, do not clear the sample, and if he uses it, sue him. And also, that's not how.
There's the weird idea that you have to come out and publicly make a statement, or else you're not like the signal virtuing is what he's doing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's more, especially revolving around Kanye. I think like he didn't stop, so it got to a point where like people are making an example out of him in a very real way. And I believe this when I saw they forced what's his face to make a comment, Pusha T, Like Pusha T was like Kanye's ride or die for like went through the Drake beef with him and like so much other shit with him. When he came out and made a statement about like I can't condone Kanye West and blah blah blah, that's when I was like, oh word. Like Pusha T's management and like his lawyers and the people in his life are requiring him to do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I don't even know if Ozzy Osbourne, is it a video of him saying it? Is there audio of him saying it?
It
Or
was
is
a tweet. It was a tweet.
right?
It was a tweet.
Anyway, I don't know if this deserves this much energy.
Yeah,
but
I mean, the same thing happened with Donna Summer. She didn't clear a sample, and she made a comment, a post on Instagram stories, saying that she doesn't know if that was AI or something. I think that's probably something that is possible. Is like Kanye, like will.i.am has been asked about AI, and his statement on AI is like, it's great, it's fantastic. Humans like are just afraid of like humans were afraid when they first created fire. You know what I mean? They thought that they were gonna fucking burn everything down. You know what I mean? Like new things come along, and you gotta use the tools. And so like I could picture Kanye. Somebody made a comment online that I like was like, this is a good hot take, and he was just like, it'd be crazy if Kanye knew that these people were gonna come for the samples, and that's why he called the album Vultures. You know what I'm saying? Because he, like, I think it'd be like dope if that's what he did. If he did like an AI cover of everything that he wanted to sample to get around the sample issues and shit. You know what I mean? But also, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows if that's true? Let's move on to the next topic. Let's also skip the Friday the 13th actor said he could get Kanye a better Jason mask.
That's stupid.
We don't gotta watch that video. TMZ.
Nah,
Kanye spends millions on the Super Bowl ad. Though. Let's watch that. Yeah, let's watch that. Kanye spent, I believe he spent $7 million. It said on a. Like I see other headlines that are like Kanye spent $7 million on a weird Super Bowl ad.
It's my commercial, and since we spent all the money on the commercial spot, we actually didn't spend any money on the actual commercial. But the idea is, I want you to go to Yeezy.com, YEEZY.com, and I'm gonna write it at the bottom of the screen. And I got some shoes, and that's it.
Peace, y'all. It's your boy Johnny Fastlane here with allhiphop.com. So right there, that was a commercial, right? That was a Kanye West commercial for the Super Bowl. Kanye West dropped his own low-budget commercial where it looks like he's just taking a selfie with his phone, right? In the commercial, you guys see, man, he's like, look, I spent all the money on buying the slot, so this is the low-budget commercial. Here it is, right? Basically, where he's telling people to just go to Yeezy.com, and he looks very humble, looks like he's sitting in his car, and he's like, yeah, go to Yeezy.com. I'm gonna write it on the bottom of the thing, and yeah, just go there. I got some sneakers, right? It's crazy as hell because, yeah, Kanye does have sneakers on there. He has other merch too on Yeezy.com, and you guys know, man, before those Yeezy pods were going for at least $200 a pop, but now they're like $20 on Yeezy.com, right? The reason why is because you guys know, man, Kanye West said that he's kind of like a Robin Hood, where he doesn't want his clothes to be so expensive, but he says Balenciaga and the Gap, they weren't listening to him. They wanted to overprice those things, right? It's crazy as hell because, yeah, the Super Bowl is the time where commercials cost the most amount of money all year, right? Just for a 30-second slot at the Super Bowl, you have to pay $7 million to advertise for just 30 seconds, right? So when you see like Verizon have Beyonce in their commercial, not only are they paying $7 million for the slot, but they're paying Beyonce for a commercial, right? So of course, Kanye West, he just kind of wanted to be probably economical and just take a little selfie video and just pay the $7 million for the slot itself. But at the end of the day, it's so Kanye West to not come out with a typical regular commercial and just do a little selfie on a Super Bowl Sunday, right? Either way, let me know what y'all think.
That is very Kanye West.
I think that's what makes him Kanye West. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it works though, because I'm already on the Yeezy.com website.
I was on the website too.
Everything is $20, yo. Everything is $20.
Everything is $28 Canadian.
$20. Box tee white, $20. Long black tee, $20. Vultures pants, black, $20. Vultures black long tee, $20. Yeezy wet bodysuit, $20. Like everything is fucking $20. Yeezy pods, $20.
So what does that do though, right? Like, because there's this idea that in fashion, the inaccessibility of it is kind of what makes it like the cool thing, right? Like it's like, oh, you have to be able to afford this to have it, right? But everyone can afford this, and
So
everyone can have it. But it still makes you. It's still like
We
there's
will
still.
see.
Yeah.
Nah, so because there's also another side of it, right? Fashion makes is about statements. So instead of putting this giant price barrier there, you allow people to easily prove that in spite of everything, they're still willing to support Kanye directly, because now you purchasing this becomes a statement. So if all of a sudden millions of people are buying off of Yeezy.com because they can afford his high quality, affordable clothing that is clearly designed by him and attached to him, it's a visual statement later on of
Is it high
proof of
quality?
support. I mean,
I
I
don't know.
don't
I'll
imagine
find out because I'm about to order all of this shit. I'm like, what, son? This is fucking, let me see, fucking 80, 160, 240, 260 bucks. Like, what? I'll spend $300 real quick on the whole fucking Kanye line. Like, what? That's nothing. Like,
But yeah, no, it's an interesting thing, and even if it's not the highest quality from a fashion point of view, if wouldn't you be trying to prove your relevancy at all points? And in some cases, you do that via exclusivity, but in other cases, you know, showing that you're able to create the masses is equally as powerful a statement.
all right, Holden. I went to Fashion Institute of Technology, so let's let a professional.
You went to FIT?
Right? Yeah, I went to FIT.
I didn't know that. My girlfriend went to FIT.
Yep, I went to FIT. I had scholarships, college courses when I was in high school for like a year and a half, like fucking six semesters or some shit like that. So check it out. At the end of the day, there's wild examples of cheap fashion that has gone like everybody fucks with it, regardless. You know what
like
I mean?
A white t-shirt.
Like regardless of fucking being like, oh, I wear wild, you know, expensive stuff and this and that. There's still examples of those people still fucking with something of like a real low budget. You know what I'm saying? Nature. Right. And look, right now, it's not $20 low budget, right? But like, ugly fashion is the super thing in this generation. You know what I mean? Like, this generation is the generation that came after the generation that fucking made Uggs cool. You know what I mean? And then fucking Crocs now are the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's also not. It's an inexpensive item. You know what I'm saying?
Also, there's like there's two kinds of, well, there's more than two kinds, but there's different kinds of fashion, right? Like, there's one fashion that's built on the inaccessibility of a thing, like Balenciaga. Like, there's people who buy a Balenciaga hoodie that just says Balenciaga on it, right? And what's fashionable about that? It's just a hoodie. Like, it does, like, the styling of it isn't really that special, but having it say Balenciaga gives you a certain sort of credibility to a certain audience, right? But then there's a fashion that's rooted in the creativity of I don't want to say poverty, but like of not having money, right? Like, when you think about certain things that have become fashionable, like Timberlands and fucking construction wear and white t-shirts and even thrifting, right? Thrifting isn't cool and fashionable because rich people were doing it. Thrifting is cool and fashionable because that's how people who didn't have money still sort of like put together like a dope creative outfit, you know? And I feel like what's fascinating about this Kanye West thing is it kind of subverts both of those things. Like, he spent so much time making Yeezus a fashionable brand of accessibility, of people who could afford it, that it's still that, you know, like he's almost proving that it's him and it's not the brand. Like, it's not Adidas, it's not Gap, it's me.
No, absolutely.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, they're not wearing this.
He's the mover of the needle. You know what I mean?
Like people aren't wearing this because it was Adidas. People aren't wearing this because it was Gap. People aren't even wearing it because it was hundreds of dollars. They're wearing it because of me. And if it was $20, they would still wear it, you know?
Yes.
And
absolutely.
If this works, I gotta applaud him. This is super subversive and I love it.
I mean, I think that it's crazy because it's one of those situations, kind of like Starberries and Shacks, right? Except that it's actually working, you know?
Right,
And
because Stephon Marbury wasn't a fashionable icon enough to make the
exactly.
sneaker right.
Same thing with Shaq. You know what I mean? Like this is like you're allowing a third party to control this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's not actually a thing that takes off crazy. You know, when you were involved heavily at the very beginning of it, it did take off, and people did fuck with it because you're Shaq. People they like you, but then as soon as you can tell that it's like, oh, this is like cheaply made now and a cheaply thing, and it's not, you know what I mean? Kanye's
Right.
staying involved in the process of cheapening the cost and the price of getting this stuff to people. Like that's
Also,
And I think
genius.
what'll make the difference is the quality of the clothing. I think if as long as it's a standard, like a good quality something, I think people will fuck with it. I think if Flacco, if you get your shipment and it's cheaply made and people start realizing that, like I think that'll be like a misstep on his part.
Yep.
I don't see that
absolutely.
happening. Like I just
Yeah,
feel like
can't
this
see it.
guy has spent over 10 years in fashion at this point. He has all the plugs. Plus, he doesn't need to make money on this move per se. This
We don't know
doesn't
that.
have to. No, I'm not saying he won't. I'm saying he doesn't have to. This could be a marketing ploy that would just be a write-off because like the entire thing could be considered a brand investment. Where,
Maybe, but like we also Kanye's an enigmatic person. We don't know where he's
but
at mentally.
what I mean is like he can afford to run like a $0 profit and then make sure all of the clothing is like perfect. You know, like he can afford.
But we don't know that he can afford to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like the man, we can admit he took a hit, right? He took a hit financially. You can't just sell a house when you have a house. So he still has a overhead of somebody who had way more money than he has. He also went through a divorce, and I'm not saying he can't or he can. I think it's just a misstep to assume that he's not out to make money doing this. I think something like this is to make money, like to sell
Right.
this. To sell something at, because he doesn't even have to sell it at a $20 price point. Like this stuff could be $50, people would still buy it. But to sell it at a $20 price point is almost, it's kind of like what I was saying he was doing with the streaming songs. To sell as many of these as he possibly can. And if there's one thing that happens when you go for quantity, is that you lose quality. You know, and it's about how much quality is lost. There's no way that the production of this is focused on quality and they're selling it at $20 a shirt.
It could also be
there's no way.
that the production quality is high, and where you take the hit is support, service, and everything surrounding that.
Possibly.
Because, like, I'm just saying, I think he's got the plugs to get high-quality clothing made at, like, the stupid lowest prices possible. And those designs are honestly just basic graphics printed. So, like, the production on that isn't insane from what I understand about merch. And if he's able to go to whatever country on earth he wants and set up in whatever factory on earth to get the best fucking price point on production possible, like, I just think he's in a position in life to accomplish those kinds of moves.
We'll see.
I hope they're good quality.
I will let you know. I will let you know when I finish.
It looks like the black on black Vultures outfit looks comfy as fuck.
Yo, Flacco, when you get it, don't open it until we're on the podcast, and let's do like an unboxing. You know what I'm saying? And we'll look at the quality in real time.
That'd
be amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So I guess we can move on to the Super Bowl as a topic. I see we got the video here for that.
Yes. The Super Bowl. Fucking happened.
Boom.
I can only feel the number of people out there being like, what's going on? First and goal. Mahomes swings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City! And this was the Andy Reid special. We talked about he was saving all day. He's going to fake a motion to go across. And at that moment, he turns and goes back Hardman, who they didn't have, right?
And they win it by 3 on this touchdown throw to Mecole Hardman, who started the season as a Jet.
Jim, I want you to know this was an incredible call. What they did, Andy Reid right here, and Mahomes' eyes holding people inside. You cannot look at Mahomes' eyes. Watch this right here. Pause that, right there. See this motion? As soon as that happens, Ward's eyes go to the next guy inside. And at that point, he's out leveraged. You have to time that motion perfectly where you could hide him behind. Andy Reid, that was a perfect.
That was a pretty tricky play.
I kept on joking when I was at the Super Bowl party with my friends. Like, the football team is playing against the other football team. And a guy's going to throw that ball, and somebody's going to catch it. And they're going to run. They're going to score.
That's how I felt watching that 1 minute right there. It was purely.
I'm here for the Super Bowl commercials and the halftime show. God damn it!
But I also
That's what
think
I'm here for.
It's wildly interesting that Ice Spice was hanging out with Taylor Swift the whole night looking awkward. Now, I don't care about Taylor Swift, but Bonnie put me on to Ice Spice as reactions in this, and she looks fucking confused the entire night. Like, she has never seen a football game in her life. She has no idea what the fuck's going on, and that was fun for me. I enjoyed watching Ice Spice's reaction to the football game.
I did not watch the Super Bowl. I don't really care about the NFL. It's a racist organization,
Right.
and I hope they burn in hell.
I hope they do too.
Well,
What label?
I was the whole time I'm talking shit about like you guys and your American football, and like a couple of my friends took the bait and they're like, American football. I'm like, yeah, American football. Like, the rest of the world do not give a fuck about this game, this sport. You know what I mean? Like, the rest of the world operates off football, as in football. You know what I mean? Like, the rest of the world only cares about soccer. Like, you know, America's the one that like went and tried to reinvent this sport and shit. You know, like, or like rename, rebrand
out
football.
there, which
Rugby
arguably
also
is
I was
way
watching a
fucking
rugby,
harder.
I was watching a rugby series, reality series on Netflix. You should watch it. Everybody should watch it. It's fantastic. And those guys are fucking hardcore. They got fucking cauliflower ears like fucking MMA fighters. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are out there playing the sport of football essentially with no pads and no nothing. Just
and you can only
hitting
pass
each other.
backwards.
Bare bones. You know what I mean? Like, bare bones hitting each other. And yo, I watched some of that shit. Yo, homie lost it. It was like choking the motherfucker. Like, he had fucking like tackled this shit. Like, yo, it gets crazy over there in rugby. I was like, yo, this is actually a better sport than American football.
American football is slow. It is just a slow sport where, like, look, I appreciate American football video games because then you can take all the time you want to get into strategy and play at whatever pace you want. But watching this shit on TV is wildly boring to me. Like, a lot of waiting, a lot of standing around and nothing happening. They call timeouts. They do all kinds of shit. And, like, when you compare it to something fast-paced like hockey, this is the slowest sport fucking ever.
The fact that you're a Canadian bigging up hockey over football is the most Canadian thing. I love watching football, so I disagree. I love watching football. Like, even that one play that they did, I thought that was a pretty fucking dope ass cool play. But I just can't fuck with the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, they're
like,
racist as shit.
Right. It's like the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. I'm like, yo,
yeah.
Gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, black gang. Y'all are obviously not gang. You've made your allegiance known. Now we just don't fuck with each other. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's
my fault.
It's just surprising to me how I mean, you know, we live in a time where 4 months is forever. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers will be mad at something now and 4 months later. Remember when everybody was pissed off at Balenciaga? I don't even remember why we were pissed off at Balenciaga. My girlfriend works in fashion. And there was a time where the job that she was at, she was like looking for another job, and she saw that there was an opening at Balenciaga, but it was in the middle of when motherfuckers was like shitting on Balenciaga for whatever it was. I forgot what it was. It was something racist.
They had like a racist. I mean,
right.
You know, all these big fashion houses do some racist.
But I was like, I was speaking to my girlfriend. I was like, yo, I guarantee you that a year from now, people won't even remember what it is that they're mad at. You know what I'm saying?
Gucci had the same thing happen to them.
It all happens
during the race. recent social media era. You know what I mean? The last 8,
to the
10
point where
years.
at this point I think they do it on purpose for publicity. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, no, they don't give a fuck.
there's no real negative impact. Like
There
nobody
is
ever
none. No.
nobody
negative
ever really
impact
gets
for any of them.
canceled. No brands
No.
ever really lose an
No.
audience. Kanye
No.
West is the closest person I've ever seen to like actually have that hasn't broken a law, that actually have like a visible
Budweiser bounce back?
Who?
Did Budweiser bounce back?
Of course, motherfuckers still drink Budweiser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. People, there's wild people on earth that are like,
It's the
"I'm gonna
king of
stop
beers."
drinking Budweiser. Like, what?
is not-
This is my
I guess
cheap
it
ass
is.
beer that I love. You know
It's
what I mean?
definitely a
Like,
cheap-ass
they don't
beer.
give a fucking about no fucking nothing. They
No.
give a fuck about their pockets and how much they're paying. They're
They're
like, Budweiser's hitting the price mark that I want. You
Right.
know?
People are going to get mad for 4 months, and then they're going to be like, let's go crack open a Budweiser, you know? This Bud's for you. And I say all to say, with the NFL and the Colin Kaepernick thing, I thought that was like something that was just more egregious than usual. It's one thing that they like fucking kicked him out of the NFL. It's another thing that like no team wants him. You know, it's indicative to like how the culture, and also, you know, the NFL pays out more for white athletes that get injured than black athletes that get injured for what is it, CCT, whatever the closed caption television in their head, the concussion shit, because
closed caption television.
because their rationale is because basically they're saying since black people are stupider, it's worth less to pay them for mental damage. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is right. Like the NFL is just vibrantly they're electric racists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're neon racist. You know, and it's like, I don't care that they have black people at the halftime show nowadays. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Speaking of the halftime show, that's gonna be the next thing we talk about. Because
I mean, listen, for me, I definitely have a situation where, like, even R. Kelly, like, I got a gang of friends and we hang out at a bar, and sometimes this bar.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Jesus Christ, Holden.
I was trying to pause it.
Fucking guy, man. And so the fucking bar, like, will fucking, I was there on a Friday night and the DJ's playing fucking R. Kelly. You know what I mean? Like, he's playing like a 90s R&B set, and like, he's fucking playing R. Kelly. There's fucking nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? And so, like, my friends are like, they're wildly into fucking sports. So I already know that, like, there's certain things of the year that's like,
right.
I gotta participate, and this is like a family thing. You know what I mean?
Right. You're not gonna be the guy at the party. You're not gonna be the guy at the party like, turn this off.
Yeah, exactly. I'm super not gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Same.
But agreed on all the way. Fuck the NFL, because that's main thing. It's like, fuck the NFL. They really are like that shitty, and people don't understand how shitty they are and how bad like it's gotten or has been, I guess.
Yeah.
And we just ignored it for 50 or 60, whatever fucking Super Bowl they were at. Like, fucking ignoring it that many fucking years. Again, celebrating white mediocrity and racism. Let's go.
But then Usher came through and did his performance.
Usher getting fans caught up in their feels with this Super Bowl halftime show opening number.
I'm sorry, got me feeling it. Know what it is, but it's since you got me twitched down.
I wanted to put on a show that I felt would represent my idea of creativity.
The singer brings it all to Allegiant Stadium, kicking things off with his 2004 hit, Caught Up.
Got me feeling it.
This has definitely been an amazing time. I love all the cameras, I love the energy, I love the people. More than anything, I remind myself to smile.
From the marching band drum line to the choreo, Usher sets the tone for an epic start.
A home away from home for me now. Yeah, it's like I'm really getting comfortable in there. Having the Super Bowl make its way to Las Vegas, I'm hoping my investment in this city far exceeded just my residency, but it just reinvigorated my brand, my energy, my excitement about music. I don't have this moment by myself. All of my fans that I bring with me, each and every person that had anything to do with the music, the creativity, everybody is a part of this celebratory moment.
Yeah, Linda, the last artist that did a Super Bowl was Rihanna. She wasn't a 90s artist.
You know what fascinates me the most?
The earring in the middle of his ear. Y'all see that? He has an earring like on the inside.
I didn't even notice that shit. You mean like right here on the lobe, on this little thing part?
It's like
That's
in
crazy.
the ear. His earring goes through the like
through the,
where your earbud where your earbud is in your ear.
Yeah.
It's like that's almost where his earring is.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty high.
Word. You know, actually, what fascinates me is the fact that all those people would just be on the fucking, like, on the football field. You know what I mean? Like, aren't they fucking up the grass, like, for when they gotta play afterwards and shit like that? Like, what's going on?
I think it's turf.
Yeah. Word.
I mean,
I mean,
just want to know how.
what?
Like, are those like
What are we
fans that are there? Because it looks like part of it is like this looks like a concert, and these are
Absolutely
all, like,
not
VIP
fans. There's no way they just let people onto the field. Those,
No, but
those
like,
are
is
people
there
that
like a price point that you could pay to be like an extra in like the Super Bowl performance?
no, they are people who they are hired. This is a production that is cost millions of dollars. Like, you know, motherfuckers who do the Super Bowl don't get paid for it.
Yeah.
I absolutely know that. Yeah, no,
right.
I
So
absolutely know
you
that.
like they're gonna just let
Yeah.
fans like fuck that up? Like absolutely not. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker
It's approved
streak
participants.
Right.
Right. With the set of
Did
rules.
you see the performance, Baxter?
No, I didn't. I do not fuck with the NFL to any
Understood.
extent of the imagination. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see Rihanna. I didn't see Usher. I saw like clips because like people show clips, but it's like
Right.
I have no desire to
That's
see
fair.
black
I watched.
capitalists get their friends to perform at the Super Bowl.
Go with the
But yo, can you pull up a still of where Usher's earring is in his ear? Because I don't know if everybody noticed this, but I've never seen anybody with an earring like that before.
All right, let's find this picture.
Any of the video that we were just
if you're
watching.
talking about through there, I've seen it. I just
It's not the outer.
wouldn't
It's not the outer rim. It's like
not where my pot is.
Yeah,
right.
You've seen that?
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is new for me, yo. Go towards the end of the video where we were watching. There was like mad.
It's like there. Like
close-ups.
you can kind of see it's like there. But yeah.
Yeah. Yo, that's crazy.
At first, I thought it was a loop.
At first, I was like, "Is that like the microphone or the earbud?" And then I kept seeing it. I was like, "Yo, this motherfucker has his ear all the way pierced." All right.
I'd really say though,
that's a big ass. That's a big ass.
I'm happy that
diamond, too.
Ludacris and Lil Jon got to go out and have a big old performance because I don't know if Lil Jon was ever expecting that moment.
I don't know. I think motherfuckers love Lil Jon more than everybody realizes.
Yeah. Oh, Lil Jon is fucking adored. Everybody loves fucking You know what I'm saying?
Right. He's like the Dalai Lama of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody got beef with Lil Jon.
Everybody loves to fucking, and everybody thinks because the Chappelle show too. Like there's this thing about Chappelle's show that like it's just persevered throughout wild eras, and people just say these things that's from Chappelle's show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, specifically
and
Rick James and Lil Jon.
Yeah, Rick James, Lil Jon. Also, I still hear people go Dylan.
Oh, absolutely.
Dylan.
That one
You know
will
what I
never
mean?
die.
Like people love that one, you know? So it's just like there's just certain things that never go away. And like Lil Jon is forever immortalized thanks to Dave Chappelle, you know?
Facts.
Yeah. But he looks like he was having fun out there. And then Ludacris did his thing. But
yep.
Alicia
Shout out to
Keys had
Luda.
a giant red dress. Yeah, so next video.
Shout out to Alicia Keys though, because she looked amazing.
What happened?
Alicia Keys looked amazing.
Oh yeah, she did for sure. Yeah.
Usher pulling off an epic Super Bowl halftime show surprise with guest appearances from Lil Jon and Ludacris.
And the melting pot that it is, musically, culturally, to Las Vegas. This has definitely been an amazing time. I love all the cameras, I love the energy, I love the people.
The trio rounding out Usher's set with a performance of their classic hit.
I play, yeah. Let's just start.
No,
there.
it's coming. It's coming.
Let's
We know
just
that.
say that. It would be foolish to make it all the way to Las Vegas.
I think I made it easy for myself when I decided to have like features on songs that became hit records.
Ahead of the show, Usher played coy about whether his collaborators could join him on stage.
John is here, Luda's here, and I play, yeah. Well, Luda, he does have to get back to, he said last night he had to get back to Atlanta. I mean, so he might not be here.
Luda ain't leaving. Come on now. Y'all wait a lifetime for that.
Maybe you can call him.
I'll call him. Okay,
Yeah.
but I know you call him. You made that call.
I saw a warning from the video that said that hips were gyrating, like a parental advisory sticker. Now I know you had to like put that up. That was on like the official like NFL released version of the performance, and I thought that was a wild thing.
Hilarious.
Well, you know, the NFL is one of the most widely viewed things in America, and all those middle of the fucking country people, you know, they saw Janet's titty and they went crazy.
That's a
They were like never again. They were like 9/11, Janet's titty, just slightly.
Never again.
Right, never again.
Never. Right.
They tried to sue Janet Jackson, I think, the NFL, right?
Yeah. I remember that.
That's funny. You said, yeah.
Luda! Do you want to do the Super Bowl commercial highlights or move on to Monique and Shannon Sharpe? Just for the sake of time.
Yeah, let's move on to Monique and Shannon Sharpe.
All right, let's do that. Get the video queued up.
You know what? That's a short. You know what? Like, let it go. Run with it. Go for it, buddy.
This one?
Just when I tell you, Shannon, from a little girl, I always wanted to be famous.
Okay.
Because I saw the Jackson 5.
Okay.
And I saw people screaming for them and hollering. And I'm like, damn it, I want them to scream and holler for me, but I couldn't sing.
Right.
But I knew somewhere I was going to be famous.
Right.
So I prayed to the universe, just let me be famous. I didn't understand what all came with that.
Mm-hmm.
As a little girl,
Right.
you just see the lights, the glamour, the glitz, and you fall in love with that. So that little girl fell in love with the lights, the glamour, and the glitz. That little girl fell in love with a woman named Oprah Winfrey on a local talk show in Baltimore called People Are Talking. And when I looked at that woman, Shannon, I saw me. I saw a big woman with a big head, big shoulders, and big feet. And I said, if that woman can do that, so can I. So that's what that little girl was thinking about from Baltimore.
You dreamed of this.
Just when I tell you, Shannon.
Yeah, little clip, little snippet, I guess. Monique went up to Shannon Sharpe and did the same thing Cat Williams did, you know?
I didn't actually watch it. Is it like entertaining and worth watching?
I didn't watch it either.
Yeah, I mean, depends on what your definition of entertaining is.
There's something about Monique I just don't vibe with, and it's something about her just either not being genuine or like like when Cat Williams is talking, like he's unhinged. But I believe that everything he's telling me is coming straight from like his heart, his soul. Like this is what he means. When Monique is talking, I feel like it's an act. Like she wants to convince me of something. And I'll point out what I mean. What she just said about Oprah Winfrey, right? It seems like it's inspiring, like saying like Oprah made me want to be me, right? But it's a dig, it's an insult, and it's such a subverted like insult because everyone knows Oprah Winfrey has had an interesting relationship with her weight. You know, she's lost so much weight. She's gone on so many diets. They know it's a topic of hers that like is a sensitive thing, right? So for her to be like, I saw this big shouldered, big foot, big headed, you know what I'm saying? To go into great detail about Oprah's body type. Like she could have said so many things about it was inspired by Oprah. She could have just said like a bigger woman that reminded me of me, but she digs in, and it's like, you know, women specifically do shit like that, but like people do shit like that because they know it's like how it's how Southern people insult you.
Right.
You know saying?
Right.
It's like it comes off pleasant and kind, but it's an insult.
Yeah, exactly.
And like she knows what she's doing, and there's a part of that that's like, all right, I get it, and I get it. I get it on the surface level, and I get it behind the surface level, and I'm like, you just seem like an unhappy person. You seem like an unhappy person.
Yes. That's what it seems like to me. That it seems to me as if though there's like a recurring theme on the show where I say like somebody like Joe Budden, like when you look at him, it's like the common denominator in all your failed relationships and endeavors and projects is you. Right. You're the common denominator.
Even if you have a point,
everybody else is not. It's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like
Monique,
even
Monique
if you have a
has
point,
a lot of that energy.
You still made the choice to get involved in all the situations like that you got involved in, and at a certain point, it's you that continues to enter into the relationships and scenarios that you do that leads you to be in moments where your point gets made, and maybe these people do you wrong. But if you never take the time to acquire better judgment and change the circumstances in your life, then you're just going to be miserable for the rest of your life. And some people are just too blessed in their circumstances to be as miserable as they are, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's that, but it's also just the fact that like it's not even the decisions and the outcomes of the decisions that are making you miserable. Like you're just miserable. Like on the inside of your soul, like to Flacco's, like Joe Budden seems like if everything was going right and if everybody was like on his side, he would still find something that was like a displeasing to him because that's who he is on the inside. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like what happens is all of your relationships sour because of that misery. And sometimes you have a point. Sometimes you're right. Like Oprah and Lee Daniels probably did do Monique dirty. That's probably right.
We got,
you know,
Bonnie's in the comments saying, but when Oprah was first starting off, she did look like that. She was bigger than all the skinny mini white girls that were on daytime TV at the time. And Monique is around the age where she would have watched her first on TV, and that did inspire her. I don't know if it's a dig. It's more like a, hey, she looks like me and is famous, so maybe I can do it too.
Bonnie's not understanding what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that Monique isn't factually correct. I'm saying that Monique knows that Oprah is sensitive about her body type. So talking about her in that way, about somebody that she knows like that is the dig, right? Like that's where the dig.
She probably knows that bothers her the most. Like she's heard Oprah say, when people say that, like I have like a big this, big head, big that, big this, big that. Like she's told her behind the scenes that bothers her, and she went directly for that because
it would be like. It would be like if like we like, you know, Jay-Z's story, right? It'd be like if somebody was announcing Jay-Z to the stage and they were like, coming to the stage, he was a former crack dealer, he shot his brother in the street, he fucking, you know, left his man who got arrested, and he survived all of that. Jay-Z. And it's like you're choosing what to highlight. Even if it's factually like correct, like the things you're choosing to highlight, it speaks to like how you're trying to frame this person in the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like Monique could have made that same point in a way that was less descriptive about Oprah.
Like, does she have beef with Oprah? Is like,
yes, that's the whole point of the interview.
Yeah.
So,
she got beef with everybody that she mentioned. You know what I mean?
So
and then she like mic dropped that she's going out on tour with Kat, and I was like, that sounds like the Better Bitches tour.
So Monique was in the movie Precious. You know that movie? Did she win it?
I still never watched it.
Did she, I mean, me neither. Because
she won an Oscar for it.
So she won an Academy Award for that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
The beef is that like when you sort of enter the machine of Academy Award winning actors, when you sort of enter like this realm of things, like it doesn't come without like requirements. So Oprah and Lee Daniels, who produced that movie, wanted her to do interviews and go on a promotional tour for the movie after the Academy Award win. And she was like, pay me for it. You know what I'm saying? And then they were like, no, like you should do it because this is going to be whatever. And like that, there's some discrepancy there. So then there's talk about her being blackballed behind it, about her being labeled difficult behind it. And it's like, then it's like some he say, she say, and Tyler Perry's involved in there somewhere. And like, to my point and to Flacco's point is like, Monique has points. She probably has she's probably right about a lot of things. She probably was
about
blackballed.
bunch of shit.
Right.
Well, she's right about like black women being underpaid and how like she was definitely saying that, but like she's right about a bunch of shit. But it's just that the rest of it is like hate and like look, even that situation, right, is one of those situations where like, yeah, but like, sweetheart, you gotta understand some things like when you're doing an indie flick like that, it is independent and it is on a budget and they don't have the budget. They're just hoping that you'll just be like, hey, I'm an artist that like has funds and can pay for their own shit because I want this shit to get an Oscar, because I want to win the award, because I want the, you know what I mean, this recognition. But she was just difficult about it. And then people were like, she's fucking difficult to work with. And it's like, well, you're fucking proving everybody's point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you prove everybody's point constantly. You know what I mean?
So,
like, even...
Let me ask like a different question, because like I saw this floating around on Facebook and the opinions on the timeline. Do you think that if Shay Shay continues down this path that he's on, his interview platform is going to be more successful, or is this like dangerous grounds for where he can go, like in terms of a direction of his show?
I mean, I think he does run the risk of being like Vlad TV, where like people are going for the salation of the thing. Like they want to hear somebody say something crazy, and you kind of like, it depends on what he wants. Like there's no right answer to that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be the place people go to get messy, or you could like, not everybody like he's Shannon Sharpe. He's not fucking Walter Cronkite. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe Shannon Sharpe doesn't need to be doing like in-depth, well thought out, provoking interviews. Maybe he needs to put down the yak, let people get a little saucy. Maybe he could be upscale Drink Champs. Like Drink Champs is only interviewing rappers. Shannon Sharpe could like interview actors, sports people, get them a little saucy, and fucking see where it goes.
I like that.
That's true.
No, it's a good way to look at it. But yeah. So
imagine Selena Gomez goes up there, Taylor Swift goes up there, like everybody who's just beefing.
And Shannon Sharpe, he's already a better interviewer than Nori, because Nori is the worst, but he's exactly.
Nori is bad.
He's exactly what you're looking for when you're looking for.
I love him though. Yeah, I love him though.
We love him because we're from New York and we know 7 versions of him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Also, what I love about him that he specifically had when he first like launched was, you were interviewing rappers that you were friends with.
Right.
It's different that like the conversation, you could see how the conversation would be different than
if
when
didn't have a relationship with them.
Rappers, when they go up to like Angie Martinez or Breakfast Club or any of these other platforms, it's more like, yeah, nah, you're not.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You're not my people. You know what I mean?
Right. Like some of the stories.
You don't get this life.
Like some of the stories the rappers are telling, he's in the story.
I've been a millionaire. I've been fucking on private planes, flying places, getting millions of dollars because I'm a fucking super artist. You're a fucking radio person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the fuck? Like you're not like that was while Ghostface and Wu-Tang was offended with how they sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, Ghostface was like, yo, respect my shit, yo. I'm a fucking rapper. You just a fucking radio host. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Angie Martinez was like, damn, Ghostface, like that's how you gonna do me. And he was just like, I don't give a fuck, Angie Martinez, Angie Martinez. God damn it.
I don't remember that, but I'm about to Google that right now.
It's some shit like that. I'm probably
No,
exaggerating the story.
but the same thing with Beanie Siegel and Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
like you don't understand, so you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? How what's the shit that all the gangsters say? What's understood don't need to be explained.
Exactly. And so, like, when Nori started interviewing people, it was like, yo, you could see the stories they were willing to give Nori because
He was in some of them.
He was in some of them. Yeah, facts. Like one of my favorite stories about this whole them. Jim Jones went up there and was talking about a show that Dipset, Nori, and I forgot who else did for Violator or for Chris Littyy's brother. So Chris Littyy's brother was throwing a show, and whatever. It turns out that fucking Nori was smart, and Nori used to be punctual, and so he showed up early, and he was like, "I'll go first," and then he went and fucking got the money, and like it was all the money, and so Jim Jones, Dipset didn't get paid. And like Jim Jones' job back then was to like make sure people either like paid or got their ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like Jim Jones ended up beating Chris Littyy's brother ass, and then he like realized when Nori's telling this story, he's like, "Oh my God, bro, I fucked him up because of you. If you wouldn't have taken the money, you know what I'm saying? We could have split the pie or something. You know what I'm saying? But like." Because of you, I ended up like beating him up that night, and then many times, every time I would see him, you know what I mean? It was a thing, and like it was like a discovery that Jim Jones had in the middle of like Nori telling the story, from us knowing each other for so long. But that's shit that only you guys could relate to. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is gonna get that story out of Jim Jones or Nori. You know what I'm saying? You need Jim Jones and Nori to sit down and be chilling, palling around.
Because for everybody else,
it's
a hypothetical story. For Nori and Jim Jones, it's something that happened to both of them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not simple to get people to open up about their stuff. You gotta get into a place of like comfort, but also like Nori's stylistically really good at what he does. You're supposed to be annoying. Like, he obviously, over the last 7 years or whatever, could have changed the behavior if he wanted to. Instead,
yes, absolutely.
Because he self-awarely says, I know, I shouldn't keep interrupting, but let me interrupt you. And he just made it a further shtick of Drink Champs.
And also,
and you can't... because I've been watching him the whole time, and he has changed things. He has improved in certain ways. But like you said, he definitely embraces like the interrupting thing and doesn't care that people are like upset at him interrupting, you know?
And you can't lose the plot, right? Like Nori trying to be other kind of interviewers would change what makes Drink Champs different and special. So it's like, I don't watch Drink Champs when I want to get like an in-depth, like, you know what I'm saying, like tell me about your childhood, like, you know what I'm saying, because that's not what Drink Champs is for. And that's why, but also that's why Drink Champs wins, because there's nothing else like that, you know. To Flacco's point, there's no other hip-hop interview shit where it's like the friends of the rapper are talking to the rapper. Like, even if you look at some shit like Vlad is an other. Vlad ain't their friend. You know, all of them, Adam 22, like there ain't another one where it's like the rappers look at this motherfucker as one of them and a friend. And they're comfortable enough to like talk to him as a peer, you know?
I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask. Because if you ask Boosie, he'd probably be like, well, Vlad is wild, Vlad. I love him.
Yeah, but that's only because he makes so much money off with him.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the same thing Lord Jamar would have said once upon a time, until Lord Jamar was like, nah, fuck him. Like, you can't be fucking talking about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan the way that you want to, and just like fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a sad truth about having relationships with people who are outside of the culture that you're a part of, is because if they don't have a very real respect and reverence for the culture, and you allow them to operate in that space, it's only a matter of time before they disrespect the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, for Vlad to disrespect Louis Farrakhan, regardless of how you feel about him and his politics, like he's revered. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's beyond this circus that we're running. For you to think that you could get Louis Farrakhan to sit down for a Vlad TV interview is fucking disrespectful.
Nuts.
I mean, it's just also like, it's like I don't know. It just shows like a level of disregard to the entire Nation of Islam and everything and the people involved. Which, if you get into hip hop culture and you really do study it, there's a huge part of hip hop culture that's based in the Nation of Islam, and it has inspired. And I'm pretty sure Lord Jamar to this day is still involved in that movement. No,
there are so many people who are a part of it or inspired by it or like, you know, fuck with it, that don't talk about it, that like whatever. And if you're part of the culture, you realize that, like, you know, it's part of the culture in a very real way. It's just, you know, to the point of, I mean, once hip hop kind of expanded its borders past the neighborhoods that originated it, you can't really control who gets involved and who gets to make money and who gets to like do whatever. But it's just like when those people get validated by the people who are from it, because the thing that validates someone like Vlad is the Lord Jamars, is the Boosies, is the people who are valid that associate themselves with him. You know what I'm saying? Like Vlad isn't valid by himself. Like people didn't even know what he looked like for a long fucking time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he validated himself by his association to people by people that other people respected. And it's like, when you do that, when you lend somebody your credibility, you have to be careful that this person understands like what the rules are, or like have some sort of reverence for the culture.
Yeah, no, facts. I would love to keep going, but I think we should get on to trailer of the week because it's 8:52. And I love this. I like how the organic nature of the show is just getting a little bit longer and longer now that Baxter's involved, because the conversation is so riveting. Let us know in the comments as you subscribe to the channel and hit like.
He's your biggest fan. Facts. He is.
Shout out to Lindell.
He's cheering you on. He's like, haha, that was funny. Facts. He's like, I'm here for this Baxter edition. He's like, he didn't give a fuck so much about me. You know what I mean? But like the Baxter edition, he's all board for it. You know
Teamwork
what I mean?
makes the dream work.
I'm gonna give you one bit of advice.
This is the Bob Marley trailer.
Advice though, Baxter, about Lindell. If he gives you a movie recommendation and you even imply in the littlest way that you're gonna watch it, he will bring that shit up for the next year.
He will haunt you.
Listen, I won't imply I'm going to watch it unless I'm going to watch it.
Right.
Just there's a fair warning.
Gotcha.
Chris is like, this is true. Lindell will really do that. All right. Trailer.
Just a heads up, I'm probably not going to watch this Bob Marley movie, but I've never seen the trailer, so let's see. And shout out to Bob Marley. He was in Aquarius.
Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom?
Baxter the Baxter.
Redemption songs.
When you write that?
All my life.
I hate it already. I hate it so much. I hate it with every bit of my soul. Prove me wrong. Oh my God.
That's a hit. Reggae is the people music.
You know you're a superstar.
That Donald Glover?
Superstar. You can't separate the music and the message. You see, reggae music come to unify the people.
Not everyone likes what you're saying. For your own safety, you need to stop.
On December 3rd, 1976, would-be assassins invaded Bob Marley's home and attempted to take the life of the singer, his wife, and...
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that thing. That every little thing gonna be alright. You like that one?
Yeah.
There's a war going on. Oh, I can't bring peace. I can't even get peace for myself.
Rise up this morning, Smile with the rising sun. Three little birds. It's by my doorstep.
Sometimes
Singing.
the messenger has to become the message.
Bob, I know it's dangerous, but you're the only one who can unite the people.
You ready, Bob?
No guns can stop this message. I want the world to change. And that time is now.
This is our message to you.
Looks like his family is doing it in conjunction. Tough Gong is Bob Marley's estate, and Plan B is Brad Pitt and Brad Pitt's studio without Angelina Jolie. Because I think that with Angelina Jolie, he had one studio, and then when they split, Jennifer Aniston too, he had a studio with, and then when they split. So I think Plan B is like his Brad Pitt's. You can look it up, something like that. You're saying you're not a fan. You're not gonna be watching.
I hate it so much. It looks like Bob Marley. I mean, Bob Marley has white people have already like, you know, gentrified Bob Marley for a good bit, right? Everything about that seems to be the like white people's like perspective or like, you know, their view of Bob Marley. Like I was like, is this actor even Jamaican? Because he sounds like somebody trying to be Jamaican. And no, he's yet another fucking black English actor that they got. He was also in a Marvel show. He was one of the people in Secret Invasion.
Yeah, he was in Secret Invasion.
Yeah. And he's not necessarily doing a bad job, you know? It's just it's what biopics have become. Like they're like it's like they're not so much trying to tell a story of someone's life as they are trying to like make a movie, and I guess that's self-evident. But it's like, you know, but it's like I think they lose the humanity of the subject that they're actually talking about. You know what I'm saying? I would love to look at this and see Bob Marley and not a movie about Bob Marley. You know, like when I see this, I see an actor playing Bob Marley, going through the motions of what should be like his life, but I don't feel it. It just seems too. It seems like Disney. It seems too perfect. Too like it doesn't even. Look like
we already do have like the Bob Marley movie with it being Bob Marley, and like you know what I mean. Like
I suppose
you see this whole documentary struggle. I don't know. Did you ever see that one?
It was a documentary or it's a movie?
Yeah, it was a documentary.
I think I saw the documentary. It came out. It was like on Netflix a while ago.
Like, isn't that so? I mean, just to like Baxter's point, is there not a way to do biopics in a more like compelling way? Like the way they shot this, nothing. It almost doesn't feel like it's in the spirit of Bob Marley, right?
Right.
Like, that was my first thought about it, because like, you know, I'm not the biggest fan, but I got chastised for not knowing anything about him, so I watched that documentary that you're talking about, Flacco, and I've seen a few other things, and this guy was more of a revolutionary. Like, it almost feels like he'd be more on that Che Guevara, fuck this capitalist bullshit kind of energy. And this feels like a cash
Don't worry,
grab.
be happy.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they do have a lot of gunshot shits, and I mean, they imply some love stuff and whatever happening, but Yeah, it just feels like really gloss. It feels like the pop song version of what a biopic could be, whereas maybe this should have been more on the underground. Not to say not well made, but
right,
it definitely
is well
feels
made.
like it's going to the widest, whitest audience possible.
Right. It doesn't seem like somebody who like loves Bob Marley. It doesn't seem like somebody who like is from Jamaica and like loves Bob Marley would fuck with. It sounds like somebody who was like white and in middle America and smokes doobies and listens to Bob Marley would be like, that was a great movie. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
I mean, I think that so Bonnie's in the comments saying, wow, I'm looking at Plan B's movies and there's a lot of big movies. They're in to make big money making movies. Yeah, you know, like that's what it feels like to me. It feels like the Transformers version. But like, I also get that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I think that like things like that have a place, right? Like, you can fucking sell something like that around the world globally. You know, where like, let's not talk so much about like how many women and wives and you know, let's not talk about his revolutionary side. Let's fucking just concentrate on don't worry.
And they might do it justice, but the trailer makes it come off.
Absolutely.
I have little doubt that they'll do it justice. And Flacco's point is right. Like what they're really focused on is sort of like putting visuals to the music, and the music that they're pumping out is like, you know, Don't Worry About a Thing, Redemption Song. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're trying to make a movie to a soundtrack in a way, and it is that. But even the way he looks, he doesn't look like Bob Marley. Like Bob Marley was like a skinny fucking, like, you know, and that's the part of it that like offends me is like you don't even try. You know, at least when they did something like Ray Charles, it's like fucking Jamie Foxx became Ray Charles to the mannerisms, to the fucking, to like, you know, homeboy who did Queen, like, you know, he became Freddie Mercury. Like this guy, this guy,
like, you want them to method act. You want them to like be. You need to become like Jim Carrey became
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman.
I want the people
convincing.
I want the people putting the movie together to at least attempt. Like, this is just a light-skinned dude in a dread wig, and he looks like a light-skinned dude in a dread wig. It's like when I see him, if I just saw him on the street and somebody's like, "Yo, don't he look like Bob Marley?" I'd be like, "You mad racist, fam?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that motherfucker don't look shit like Bob Marley. He's just a light-skinned motherfucker with dreads. You know?
All right.
Nah, that's factual though. That's factual though.
All right, next trailer.
We're having a very pleasant day. Blessed. Then someone rains on our parade. They removed one cancer just to find another.
It's not the conversation we should be having right now.
We're going after a CIA asset that's been captured.
Is this your first mission in theater, JTAC?
Second.
Do me a favor. Keep up. The last thing we need in this op is have to save your ass.
The hell are these guys?
Local militia.
Yo, hand over in 5.
I'm ready. I am your eyes in the sky and the bringer of doom.
Subtle.
I got movement.
We got a situation. RPG 12 o'clock. Incoming!
Weapons away.
Reaper, you there? Reaper.
We're here, Playboy. You gotta get your ass on the move, son.
Go on, soldier.
Hang in there, okay?
Blackbird, can you stay in the area?
Yeah, get him. Go for it. Go for it.
Playboy, are you injured? Can't talk right now.
I get it. This is not where you want to be. Okay, it's not here. It's not here. It's here.
3 hostiles heading your way.
Do not move. There's no way I am off this op.
Remember your training. This is gonna get ugly.
Our priority is protecting the men and women who serve this country.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You gotta move, man. Get up and go.
I haven't seen a war movie in a long time. I'd watch that.
Yeah, it's definitely like fucking typical American propaganda, fucking action.
Oh, for
I was
sure.
thinking the same thing. There's two
Russell Crowe's in it, and I like Russell Crowe.
Yo, but for the life of me, I thought that was John Goodman.
Wait, was it?
I
Was
think
it
it's Russell Crowe.
in that? Was it Russell Crowe? Let me see. I'll look it up.
No, that it's Russell Crowe. You're absolutely right. I thought it was John Goodman.
Yeah, no, I see it. I see where you're coming from with that picture. Yeah, no, fair enough.
I was like, damn, John Goodman is fucking still acting. There's also two
John
Hemsworth
Goodman
brothers.
is still acting. He kicks ass, and they are two Hemsworth brothers. This is the other one.
No, they're both in the movie. There's two of them in the movie.
Oh, they're both in the movie?
Liam and Luke are both in this movie.
Oh, Luke is also in the movie. Right. Word. Crazy.
No, but that looks like good
Yeah,
propaganda.
look like a good cast.
You got like the
Looks
nerd
like good
guy
cast.
there.
Looks like good cast. They had one black woman. They hit a couple of things. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll probably end up checking it out.
It looks compelling. It looks like it would be a good movie. I landed bad.
My wife said after I played these two trailers, because I usually play the trailers for the wife that I'm gonna have on the show and shit.
Yeah.
And because it's usually stuff that's coming up, so it's like, do we want to go out to see any of this in theaters or something like that, right?
Right.
Which like we did for Tiana Taylor. When Tiana Taylor's movie came out, we went to see it in theaters because we saw the commercial. But like she said after the Bob Marley one and then this one, she was like, oh, it's the month of the compelling movies.
A word.
That's what they're going for.
Yeah. Not bad. Fair enough. I also like how it has like the kind of nerdy guy behind the computer and how he's playing his part in the operation. Because like arguably, you don't have a lot of the nerds in the operation there. It's usually just a bunch of action dudes on the ground. So they got all that, but then they got
You're
the
crazy.
other
You're a
side coming
madman,
through.
but I fuck with you. I got you. I don't think so. I think that you're factually wrong, but it's all good.
Might be. I could be factually wrong.
There's more movies that have nerds. Saving Private Ryan immediately came to mind.
The man in the
remember
chair.
the fucking the nerd kid with the fucking typewriter that fucking ended up letting the German fucking go, that came back and fucking put a bullet in fucking Tom Hanks.
Right.
Or somebody else. Oh no, he killed the Jewish character that was on the team. He came back and killed that guy. That it was like, you see, you should have killed him when you had the opportunity. But the nerd was in the military movie. There's usually a nerd. There's usually a nerd being like, hey, you know, I'm gonna help us save this war with my nerdiness.
It's valuable shit. You need nerds.
Facts.
It's like a 14-hour drive to get to Santa Fe.
Didn't think that far ahead, to be honest. Dad, you're pretty out of shape, though.
Are you hungry? The sweet tooth you got from me.
Is that all I got from you?
Somebody order a stripper?
Can I get you anything?
I'll take a beer.
Oh, hey. Oh, okay, let's go.
No, we're just having a conversation.
No.
Excuse me?
12 hours ago. 12 hours ago, you OD'd. Trust me, this path you're on, it's not worth it.
What do you care?
You're an addict.
Guess who I learned that from?
I've been there, and my life started to slip away. I just couldn't stop. I didn't really know what it meant to be a father. But I would like to get to know you.
Why would I ever trust you?
You've never been there for me, Dad.
I'm just trying to find my daughter. Live your life. There's something greater, something better. Come on. Come on.
I don't care what they say. I'm in love with you. They try to pull me away, but they don't know the truth.
You were supposed to be the chosen one.
Compelling movie week.
Big facts.
I could tell with the Southwest at the beginning. I was like, oh, they're gonna try to
BC pancakes.
Indie darling this movie.
Was that Ewan McGregor's actual daughter?
Absolutely was. I hate it so much.
Yo, there be so much nepotism. You know which one of them I hate the most? The fucking Julia Roberts fucking it's Julia Roberts' brother's daughter.
Word. Also, Johnny Depp's daughter. Also, fucking. There's just so many. There's just
Emma
so
Roberts. I can't stand Emma Roberts.
But it's one thing to be the daughter of an actor. It's another thing to then play that actor's daughter in a fucking movie, and that's how you're introduced to the world at large. It's another thing. There's an art to making a trailer. I hate it when the trailer spells out the movie for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You were never there. Why would I ever trust? It's like, yes, continue to tell us the plot of the movie in little sound bites. It's like, oh my, you just OD'd 12 hours ago. It's like, okay, he wasn't in her life. They're on a road trip. She just OD'd, and then some shit happens. We get it. Even that other movie we just watched, the Bad Land or whatever. Bad Day.
Movie,
Yeah, it's like we get an idea of the plot, but we don't know the plot. You know?
Yeah.
War movie. Yeah, War movie was enough. That was enough.
Boom.
All right,
War
before
movie.
we move on,
America, fuck yeah.
Ewan McGregor. You win, McGregor.
What's up, y'all?
You
It's
win,
the Perspectives
McGregor.
Podcast.
I like that
My
one.
name
That
is
was a
Littyyy
good
Bro Flacko. This is Holden Stephan Roy. Say hi, Holden. Hi, Holden. You already know what it is.
Hey.
Statue of Liberty, though. So if you want to come through to New York, visit, get a guided tour, hit up the patreon.com/perspectives. You can all set that up, but you'll also be able to get access to the interviews early.
Yo, my outfit was so angelic.
Behind the scenes footage, like what
I look like a
outfit.
fucking angel.
I don't even know. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and look forward to seeing you in the comments and conversing with y'all.
Like the perspective.
Say hi, Holden.
Hi, Holden.
Welcome back to another episode of the Perspectives Podcast.
So all of you out there watching, just know in a couple of weeks, the last Monday of the month is going to be our next movie night. And if you want to come watch a movie with us in Discord and then, have a little conversation after, all you got to do is head over to patreon.com/perspectives and join there. And then we'll give you the Discord link, and then you get to come watch movies in the last Monday of every night. And we figured out how to stream all the good movies, so it'll be something you might not even have access to in your personal life. You get some real benefit as we flush all this out more. So feel free to join us. And if you're here over on Twitch and you got Amazon Prime, go ahead and throw a little subscribe over our way. That would be real lovely.
We did that last week, last month.
2 weeks.
Yeah. And we watched what was it? Rebel Kings.
Yeah, Rebel Kings. It was Rebel
Kings.
Robo Kings?
Rubble Kings, which is like a documentary about like the gangs in New York in the 70s and how they were essentially the ones that were a part of making hip hop become a thing by having peace eventually. Like they really had a warrior's moment, and somebody big got killed, and like the city tried to finally all the gangs fucking pieced it out, and they all started fucking having parties, and the next thing you know, some parties turn into what end up being fucking hip hop parties, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a pretty good documentary.
So yeah, that's gonna be what we'll do. So if there's something, even if we gotta rent it or whatever for the streaming session, like that's what we want to do is find some cool stuff that can educate it and watch it as a group. And then as more of you join the overall posse, we'll evolve it more and figure out what we can do collectively to grow this into a better community. So
yeah, we can watch
join the
whatever you
Patreon.
want to watch. Just let us know by
And if
joining
you
the
want
Patreon.
If you want Flacko to be your best friend, all you gotta do is hit him up on the Cash App. It's simple like that.
Hit up my Cash App.
If
Suddenly,
you watch-
we're best friends. What do you know? I'll be like, oh,
Awesome.
look, it's my best friend. They just sent me money. Oh.
And so yeah, what are y'all doing in the upcoming week as we close up?
Good question. I don't even know, man. February's a blur. Nothing coherently or specifically planned. I'll be doing a lot of working, a lot of making and saving up money. You know, we got to save the money in the winter like little squirrels so you can spend it in the summer.
Facts. That is a good way to put it. And you, Flacco?
Similar to Baxter, I have no fucking idea.
That's fair.
You know what? I'm gonna use this moment to shout out my homie that sent me a package. I got home, right, and I looked at my mailbox, and there was a fucking package for me from a friend of mine, Kyle, telling me he misses me, misses us both. You know, people don't really like. People love me, but then they meet my wife, and they're like, "This is the real champion here. This is the real gem of a person here." You know what I mean? Like everybody's like the wife, the Molly. She's the gem. You know what I mean? But it's like, yo, what can I be mad at? You know what I mean? Like,
Yo, I salute the joy that you have saying that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, nah, I definitely know that I'm not like I'm the main character in my family. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
I'm like I'm the main character in the relationship because the wife is okay with that.
And she's
she
the favorite.
supports that. You know what I mean? But she's actually the favorite. You know,
I like that
everybody's
callback to the beginning of
nobody's hiding it either. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, even the Super Bowl party, like, yo, she gets super important fucking like she had to make the potato salad and she had to make the mac and cheese. Do you understand the responsibility being given here when we're talking about? Like,
that's both the main.
These are two of the biggest. Like, people will let anybody make fried chicken, which I don't understand. Right? I'd be like, what? What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying?
Where's their resume?
Where's their resume? There was some pale fucking chicken there yesterday. I was like, what is this? What is this? Even the fucking pernil was like, yo, you know what? This is a little not too like, you know, but you know what? I'm gonna fuck with it, you know? But like, and then there was another mac and cheese. Nah, man. The wife is a champion. So the point is, Kyle sent this. Kyle from Devastator said, "We miss you both. Try to get down the next couple of months to say hello. Love you." And he sent a package of some fucking Devastator brand firebomb with the Littyyy Bros bandana attached to it.
That's pretty dope.
With the Littyyy Bros bandana attached.
Who sent that? Kyle?
Kyle
Yeah.
from Devastator Inc. He's like a good friend of mine. He has like a company that he does like little, you know, let's see.
Yeah. Little the wax.
Yeah, little things that you could. He also does. You know what? I keep this on my keys. He does these where you can go on his website and pick up one of these.
What is that?
It's so you could I could like tag up on the train like
Oh, fucking
on
dope.
stainless steel. You know what I mean? Like on stainless steel. You know, on anything that like you're not supposed to be able to scratch. Like
I mean, one could do that. That's not what they're for.
Yeah, I guess. Nah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's legal. That's why
Yeah.
I'm covering the bases. Like he doesn't sell anything for you to do anything illegal.
Flacko can tell you all these things about why he bought it. It has nothing to do with the intentions of the seller in the eyes of the law.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's really fire though. They look really cool.
Yeah. He does a lot of like graffiti things. Like he makes these squeeze and paint comes out, you know, the roller, and you can like the fat marker type of tag ups and he like makes colors like that.
What's his website?
That don't really exist. DevastatorInc.com.
Ink as in incorporated, or ink as in what comes out of a pen?
Ink as in what comes out of a pen. INK. Yeah, he has really cool art stuff. He had one that he made the color Newport green, Newport Pat green. I was like, what, son? That's fire. If I got up and I was like a tagger like that, I would absolutely fucking buy like gallons of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, what? Newport green? That's some fire shit. Yeah. Word. Shouts out
I'm
to
on
them
the website right now. It's pretty dope.
Oh no. Is it? Whoops, I fucked up. It's Devastator Brand.
Brand.com. I've already figured it out.
My fault.
No, but for the podcast, it's good to say DevastatorBrand.com. And then it's a Devastator, DevastatorBrand.com.
I mean, it's good, but it's also like if you can't figure it out, then maybe you don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Flacco
it's
gave me enough information that I could find it because the internet is easy to
but
find.
still,
things if you try.
we want to be professional with our plugs. We want people to advertise on this motherfucker. We got to be saying their shit right.
Yeah, we should also.
He sent me some stickers to go with it, some pens, some stickers.
That's really cool.
Shouts out to Kyle. Like that's the homie. He's a beast.
Oh shit! The Littyyy Bro. It looks like a fucking Molotov cocktail. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
I didn't get it till I went to the website. That's hella dope.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll start promoting that link, and you know what I mean. Like people get their Littyyy Bros. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, so what is it? Do you light it?
See, I had the same question. It's not that weird of a question.
It's like Danny Cortez's thing. You know what I mean? Like these are just art pieces. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's dope. I know this Wednesday it's Valentine's Day, which is also the same day of the missing and murdered Indigenous Women's March in Montreal. So if you want to come show solidarity for that cause, because while it's not talked about very often, we have a real systemic issue with Indigenous women being murdered and disappearing, and then no real follow-up from our governmental authorities. So at least in Montreal, I don't know if it's across Canada, but everybody pulls up and kind of does like a little march in the street, and then there's some speakers and whatnot. So if you're in the city and you want to come to that, that'd be a cool thing to do, because you know our government fake cares but doesn't really care. So it is worth pointing out. And then we're gonna probably go eat supper because it's still Valentine's Day and it feels like an appropriate thing to do on Valentine's Day. But yeah, otherwise it's gonna be a lot of hustling, going out there and trying to make money. and then slowly putting together the logistics of getting a project mixed, and then calibrating with the engineer, because that's going to be the hard part, is going to be getting the engineer and the beat maker guy to get on the same page on the sound. Once I can get that done, it's all systems go. So we're going to be working on that and just kind of, you know, making money so I can pay for all the very expensive things that are coming in my upcoming year, because that's the goal. Instead of not setting expensive goals, I'm just going to set expensive goals and figure out the money, and that will lead to a better life.
I love it.
Just going to be exhausting, but that's why with no caffeine,
Yeah.
you know, you wake up, you can nap easier when you don't drink no coffee. It's easier to nap and get that recharge. Anyway, but that being said, this is good. I like a long episode. A long episode means it was a good time, and I appreciate all of you coming through and watching this live. Like, we still have 7 people on the Twitch. Nobody's on the Facebook, but that's fine. 7 people wrote us through the whole episode, so that's really beautiful to see. For all the people that think that nobody has attention spans, nah, people do when they're interested. So come join us over here.
Shout out to those 7 people, yo.
And if you're watching this in the future and you made it this far in the episode, you should definitely be hitting the subscribe button, because it's like 2 hours and change. Thank you for being with us that long. Subscribe, leave a little comment, and hit the like button, hit up the Patreon, get ready for movie
Say something in the comments.
And
Tell
also
us,
for those 7 people,
tell us
your
which one of us is your favorite.
and which one? Pick a favorite. Pick a favorite, and then pick the main character. It can't be the same person. Also, for those 7 people, your homework for next week is to bring a friend. So next week we gotta have 14 people.
Lindell, when you're sitting there watching us with the lady next to you, get the lady to log in on her phone.
Word.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You can dual phone this shit.
It could be like a date thing. Like, baby, let's log in together and watch Perspectives.
Let's do it. I'm telling you, it's a good
Yo,
time.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You laugh, Baxter. But let me tell you something. My wife sits through a lot of fucking interviews that it's just like she wouldn't watch this shit if I wasn't watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't give a fuck about, like,
but that's love.
You know, tragedy Gaddafi. You know, but I do. So now she does. You know.
Yo, I feel like that's an underrated part of relationships, is either A, finding an interest in your partner's interests, or being honest enough to tell them you don't give a fuck.
but then you sometimes don't give a fuck, but do it anyway, because honestly,
that's beautiful.
I would rather, in some cases, you know what happened? I made fun of Love Is Blind for a real long time. But then one day, I wanted to hang out with her more than I cared about what she was watching.
Season 6 coming soon, by the way.
I sat down and I watched some Love Is Blind, and at least for the end of that one season, I was invested. And
Facts.
I didn't care. You know what happened? I still don't care. I'm not like caring enough to go back to it.
Yo, but
I wanted to be around her enough to sit there and watch it with her, because she gives a shit to that level.
Yo, but also Love Is Blind is the perfect show to not give a fuck about, but it still be like interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's like
mad at these motherfuckers, and you don't. Oh,
it's like meeting someone at a party and getting along with them. It's like I'm not gonna give a fuck about you for the rest of my life, but for right now in this moment, you know what I'm saying? It's all about this. Like tonight, best friends. The rest of my life, I don't care.
That's a fact. But yeah, no, love is that's how it is. It is a beautiful thing, and then you end up being like exposed to things that you end up caring about that you wouldn't have if not for your partner's interests, and that is cool, because you can easily shut your friends down. You're gonna watch some shit you don't want to watch if you're in a relationship. That's just
for Valentine's Day, fellas, if you're listening, watch some shit you don't want to watch. That's your Valentine's Day.
Do that.
Every single one. The birthday.
Ladies too. That's a way. I think that might be. Actually, I think that might be the better advice. Is like for the ladies to give their guy a shot to like put them on to something that they love. Only if they're the guy that took them out to dinner and did something nice for them. You know what I mean? So
ladies, that is a life hack. If you let a guy put you onto something.
Put you onto something.
Yo,
Oh my God.
you'll be his
He
favorite.
Won't shut the fuck up. He'll just keep on fucking. Yo, men do some things that I'm like, what? You know what's the thing that men do that I realized this fucking weekend? The big TV thing. Men love to have the big TV, yo. Men are like, yo, if I'm nothing else, I'm the big TV guy. You know what I'm saying? Which is just like, you know what's another thing men do? The fucking egg. The egg. They swear that they're gonna fucking drink an egg, raw egg, and turn into Rocky.
Not me.
You're not gonna be Rocky.
I've never done
You're
that.
never gonna be Rocky.
There's nothing about drinking a raw egg that
really,
makes me think.
They drink the raw egg and they really think like they have the Rocky music in their head. And they really
I'm like, is there something else we could drink? But for ladies,
crazy.
If you let a man put you onto something, I mean, it could even be something you already know about. You know what I'm saying? Just let him explain it to you, and you will be his favorite person.
Right.
That's a fact.
You're like, baby, how do you
Men
toast?
love to mansplain.
How do you toast bread? Like, can you show me how to use this toaster? He'd be like, look, baby, step back. Let me show you.
It's not easy.
Tell a man you can't figure out how to hook up. Tell a man you can't figure out how to hook up a PlayStation or some shit like that. He'll be like, "Don't worry, baby. I'll come over. I'll take care of it."
Don't ask him to do anything like hard though.
I mean, it's just got to be something you know he knows how to do. You know?
How do I download this? How do I download this PS5 game?
Right. Right.
That will, man will be fucking what? Like in his head, he's like, this is like the Rocky thing. Like he just drank an egg. He just drank a raw egg. The music is playing. He's beating the fucking meat in the freezer. You know what I'm saying? Like he's about to climb the steps and hit the thing. You know what I mean? At the top of the steps. After he like teaches her how to like download a game on her PS5.
Right.
Like what? Crazy.
And for women, if you can actually do something that they need you to do, it's like it's the opposite effect. It's like it's not the illusion. She's like, I fucking just bought this bed frame and I can't put it together, and you're like, I got you.
That's a fact. Or that's the computer shit on some real shit. Yo, how do I work this PDF, Holden? You worked at a PDF company. She is in great moments. Holden's after.
Like Holden's like, my fucking moment's finally here.
I'm gonna be the very best. Yo, Holden, what does PDF stand for?
Portable document format.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
It's everything to do with bridging the gap of communications across systems back in the day when like shit really was Apple exclusive and Windows exclusive. It was a way to just have a universal file format that also printed the way it displayed.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Right now, we're doing the thing that my parents used to do back in the days when we were living in the projects. And like my mom was like at the door saying bye to the company for like like an hour. Mom was like, all right, bye. But then they're at the fucking door talking for another hour. And
it's like, weren't you guys more comfortable sitting on the couch? No, but with that said, I got to get out of here too. I got so much shit to do.
Definitely thank y'all for watching. It's been great. We'll be back next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come through for the live at twitch.tv/behindthatsuit. And live long and prosper, everyone.